Chapter 791. More than a dozen Earth Immortal Realm warriors were fighting the walking puppets. At the city west, there were 6 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Lu Jingtan and his eldest son, Lu Tiandi, were here. Lu Zhangtan and Lu Tiandi looked at each other after hearing Gao Xian's words. Both of them were hesitating. Gao Xian's words implied one thing. The 5 family patriarchs were not sure that they could kill Lu Renhuang. Because of this, Gao Xian hoped that the fight would end soon, so that the Earth Immortal Realm warriors could go and help them. The 5 family patriarchs were not sure that they could kill Lu Renhuang. Lu Zhongtan and the others were shocked and frightened. But then they remembered that Lu Renhuang had the 9th rank mystic armor, which was almost undefeatable at the Earth Immortal Realm. The 2 family patriarchs were confused. The 2 of them were in a dilemma. Should they fight to the death or retreat? If they left now, there might be room for negotiation. At the very least, Lu Renhuang would not go so far as to wipe out their entire family. But if they didn't and Lu Renhuang won the fight, based on Lu Jingtan's understanding of Lu Renhuang would kill them all. Not even Lu Xuan and Lu Ni could survive. Whoosh, 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 Earth Immortal Realm warriors from the city east, west, south, and north flew away, leaving the walking puppets behind. Once they left, the millions of warriors in the city would suffer. More than half of them would be injured or killed. But they could not afford to worry about that now. If they didn't go to help, the hostages would be saved, and the Earth Immortal Realm warriors of the Life League and the Yiksha race would all be killed. Father, Lu Tiandi turned to Lu Zhangtan and asked him to make the decision. Leave or fight till the end. Lu Xuan killed a walking puppet. Noticing that Lu Zhangtan was hesitating, Lu Xuan yelled, "Grandpa, do we have a way out? Lu Li and Lu Ling are cruel and merciless. Do you think they will let us go once they are defeated?" Lu Zhangtan was struggling. He gazed into the sky. When he sensed with psychic power that Lu Renhuang was fighting against 5 Lu family warriors on his own and was not at a disadvantage, Lu Zhangtan found it even harder to make a decision. They were all disciples of the Lu family, uncle and nephew. Were they really going to fight to the death? But if he stopped now, not only would he have to bear the blame for the rest of his life, he would also implicate his children and grandchildren. Lu Zhangtan. At this moment, the sky in the west began to fluctuate slightly. An old man with white hair and brows appeared in the air. It was the 5th great-grandfather, the highest elder of the Lu clan. Great-grandfather 5 stared at Lu Zhangtan coldly and bellowed, "You still don't know how to rein in the horse before it's too late? Have you forgotten the Lu family's ancestral teachings? Have you forgotten the rules of the Lu family? Are you going to drag the Lu clan into eternal damnation for the sake of your own interests? How are you going to face the ancestors of the Lu clan after you die?" Great-grandfather 5's voice was as loud as thunder, so loud that Lu Zhangtan, Lu Tiandi, and Lu Fenghua's eardrums hurt. Great-grandfather 5 had a very high status in the Lu family. Even Lu Zhangtan had to call him 5th uncle. His prestige in the family was very high. His angry roars made Lu Jingtan's face extremely unsightly. A hint of pain appeared in his eyes. Forget it, forget it." Lu Zhangtan shook his head and sighed. His gaze swept over Lu Tiandi and the others as he roared, "Let's go back. We won't get involved in the matters here." "Father," Lu Tiandi and the others shouted. If they withdrew now, it would be equivalent to accepting defeat. If Lu Renhuang and the others won, they would deal with them one by one later. "Let's go back." Lu Zhangtan shouted with determination. Disciples of the Lu family should deal with their conflicts behind closed doors. If you want to fight or kill, do it in the city of mystic armor. According to the Lu family's ancestral teachings, we cannot work with outsiders to fight against our own. Let's go. Lu Zhangtan dashed out of the city. Lu Tiandi, Lu Fenghua, and the others had to follow him. Lu Xuan's eyes were filled with hatred. He glared at Lu Ling and the others in the distance. Then, he flew away with Lu Zhangtan. Whoosh! Great-grandfather 5 flew into the city like a rock. He threw a glance at Lu Ling and said, "Lu Renhuang is an outstanding man. Both his son and daughter are outstanding. is the blessing of the Liu family. If you want to kill the descendants of the Liu family, you'll have to step over my dead body first. Great-grandfather 5 of the Liu family joined the fight. He ranked number 13 on the warlord list of the Central Plains and was a well-known, powerful soul warrior. Over the years, he had been cultivating on a mountain of inquiry, and his soul had improved. On their side, there were only 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors from the Pavilion of Delicacy. Bai Qiuxue and Lu Ling together could be counted as 1 Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Little White could fight against 1 Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Together with the monk of the Great Buddhist Temple and Great-Grandfather 5, there were 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. That being said, there were at least more than a dozen Earth Immortal Realm warriors from the 6 families. If it were not for the fact that Lu Ranhuang lured away the 5 most powerful Earth Immortal Realm warriors and Lu Jingtan's retreat, the fight would have been lost. Please don't fight. You are putting Prajna in a difficult position. Prajna was struggling to see the group of Earth Immortal Realm warriors rushing toward Lu Ling. She had never killed anyone and hardly fought. If it were not for Lu Li, she would not have joined the fight. Alas, Prajna saw an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Pavilion of Delicacy being smashed away and another 2 charging toward Lu Ling. She bit her lips and rushed over. The old monk went with her. While she was flying, a string of Buddhist beads appeared in her hand. She began to chant, "Bodhi is self-nature. Pure nature is Bodhi. It is not a form that can be cultivated, nor can it be a form." When Prajna finished her last word, a small Buddha character flew out from the string of Buddhist beads on her hand. It grew into a huge Buddha character. Those Buddha characters smashed toward the 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors like iron fists. What? The 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors were about to ambush Lu Ling and Bai Qiuxue when they sensed danger. They looked back at once and saw the golden Buddha characters smashing toward them. Before they could react, those Buddha characters had been imprinted into their bodies. Then, they could not move as if they were sealed. They fell down like stones. What? The Earth Immortal Realm warriors nearby were taken aback. This beautiful nun was only of the Noble Lord realm. How could she have such horrifying skills? This was not a bloodline skill. There was no Xian-Chi in heaven and earth nearby. This must not be a profound meaning. Then, there was only one explanation. A gift from a miraculous birth, just like Lu Ling's fire phoenix flames. There was a nun in the great Buddhist temple who was of miraculous birth. She had powerful skills and was taken in as a protege by the abbot. Many people had heard of this rumor, but it was true. Don't look at Prajna like that. Seeing that she was being stared at, Prajna said helplessly, "I don't want to fight. Don't fight Sister Lu, and I will not do anything." Little nun, an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Yiksha race, was enraged by Prajna's words. He flew over with a sawtooth saber in his hand. On the handle of the saber, there was a skull. He said in a vicious tone, "You have committed such a despicable act. Since your great Buddhist temple wants to get involved to the end, I'll skin you alive and swallow you, little nun." Prajna. Lu Ling saw that Prajna had turned pale because of the Yiksha race. She said in a delicate voice, "These are bad guys. Don't feel guilty. Seal them away. Your brother Lu will be happy when he comes back." Okay. Chapter 792. Prajna seemed to have figured it out. She made her move without any hesitation. The Buddha beads in her hand were glowing. There were some mysterious runes flowing on the beads. It was a quasi-relic. Buddha beads. An Earth Immortal Realm warrior recognized the beads. Many people shouted in surprise. That was a string of relic from generations of abbot of the great Buddhist temple. It was the most precious treasure of the great Buddhist temple. How could a little nun have it? A spiritual body and a quasi-relic. No wonder she could seal 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors at once. After Prajna continued, another 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors were sealed. Okay. Jianghua, seeing how powerful Prajna was, flew back with Jiang Qiling and the others. They surrounded Prajna. Prajna was the main attacker, and they assisted her. Jiangwu was also secretly attacking the Earth Immortal Realm warriors who were sealed down there. Those Earth Immortal Realm warriors couldn't use their Xian energy or move. Jiangwu killed them within a few moves. The tables had turned again. The seemingly ordinary little nun had turned the situation upside down. If the Earth Immortal Realm warriors continued to be sealed, the dozen Earth Immortal Realm warriors wouldn't be enough to kill them. Don't kill them. Prajna noticed Jiang Wu's action. She frowned and stopped using her talent. She was kind and innocent. She never killed anyone. Even though Jiang Wu did kill the 4 Earth Immortal Realm warriors, she was the one who sealed them. Therefore, she was responsible for their deaths. Jiang Wu curled his lips and said, "They're all evil people. Killing one can save thousands. Master, you are too much. You didn't kill them. You don't have to feel guilty." "No," Prajna said stubbornly. "I didn't kill them, but they died because of me. I don't feel good about it." All right. Jiang Wu said awkwardly. "Master, just seal them. We will not kill anymore." Jiang Qiling looked at the anxious Earth Immortal Realm warriors in the distance. She shouted, "Kill them." She flew out first. She was wearing a quasi-relic red armor and was supported by divine energy. She was not afraid of the attacks from average Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Her soul feast butterflies were not something that the average Earth Immortal Realm warriors could handle. Therefore, she dashed out without fear. Jiang Wu and the others had no choice but to follow her. This lady was the Jiang family's treasure. Jiang Tianshun had already appointed her to the position of clan king, and everything was up to her. Right now, they only wished for this matter to pass smoothly. Receiving the legacy from Emperor of Heaven Reverse, Jiang Qiling's cultivation speed was fast. She had no bottlenecks. As long as he continued to cultivate, his realm would increase rapidly. If she was lucky, she would become the new Heaven's chosen one in a few decades. By then, the Linglong Pavilion and the Jiang family would soar because of her. That was why the Pavilion of Delicacy was so accommodating this time. She had made it clear that if they didn't, she would betray the Jiang family and come to the Samsara city alone. Squeak, squeak, Little White ignored everyone and kept staring at the enemy Earth Immortal Realm warriors. At this moment, it had its eyes on the patriarch of a big family under the banner of Samsara Palace. Although it was constantly blown away by the patriarch, it rushed forward again and again. The terrifying, profound, meaning attacks couldn't even damage a single hair on its body. Whoosh! Once again, Little White was smashed away. But this time, the angle was good. Little White landed near an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Hades Society. Little White turned around and dashed toward the Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Hades Society. Climbing onto his shoulder, Little White bit at the armor. The Earth Immortal Realm warrior had a quasi-relic on him. But after a few bites, Little White had a hole in the quasi-relic. Little White sneaked in. Soon, the Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Hades Society began to howl. Bai Qiushue was not fast. Lu Ling carried her. Her face glowed, and she was glowing. Her watery eyes locked onto an Earth Immortal Realm warrior. She grinned like a peony in full bloom. That old man, who must be more than 100 years old, could not take his eyes off her. "Okay," Lu Ling shouted. A red glare came out from her body. Then, a red shadow appeared behind her. The shadow whooshed up, emitting heat. A cry of phoenix came out from the red glare, and a fire phoenix dashed toward the Earth Immortal Realm warrior who was frozen in midair. Fire phoenix flames. This was the gift of the fire phoenix birth. The flames were powerful. Not even an Earth Immortal Realm warrior could stand it unless he had a quasi-relic. That Earth Immortal Realm warrior clearly did not have a quasi-relic armor. That being said, he came to his senses at the critical moment. Terrified, he tried to retreat. Too late. Great-grandfather Five's eyes glowed in a blue light. He dashed into the Earth Immortal Realm warrior like 2 bolts of lightning. The Earth Immortal Realm warrior tried to run away, but once again, he was frozen in the distance. The fire phoenix enveloped the warrior. He burst into flames. He rolled around in midair and screamed in pain. After a few screams, he quickly turned into a charred corpse and fell to the ground. Bang! At the same time, the wounded Earth Immortal Realm Warrior of the Pavilion of Delicacy could not stand the attacks from the two Earth Immortal Realm Warriors. For the first time, an Earth Immortal Realm Warrior died on Lu Ling's side. Even though an Earth Immortal Realm Warrior had died, the warriors on the ground were still in a state of anxiety. The Earth Immortal Realm Warriors of the six families were dying too fast. The six family masters and Lu Renhuang had not made much progress. At this rate, all the Earth Immortal Realm Warriors would be killed off. By then, it would be the warriors' turn to be slaughtered. Die! From the sky to the west of the city came a shout. Then, a man fell down like a kite with a broken string. Many people used psychic power to check. It was Xiao Wanjun, the Master of the Life League. The Master of the Life League ranked number 8 on the warlord list of the Central Plains. He was the leader of an alliance, the family patriarch of the Xiao family, one of the 12 royal families. He had been famous for more than 100 years. How could he be killed by Lu Renhuang? Not only was Lu Renhuang fine in a fight against 5, but he killed one of them first. If he could kill one person, then he could kill 2, 3, or even 5. A bad thought appeared in everyone's mind. The 6 great forces were going to suffer a crushing defeat in this battle. Gao, Xian, and the others shared the same thought. The 5 of them could not harm Lu Renhuang at all. The 9th rank mystic armor was horrifying. The 5 of them had used their strongest attacks, and yet they could only wound Lu Renhuang a little. There is no other way. Gao, Xian looked down with psychic power. He sighed and took out a jade talisman from his ring and crushed it. Buzzing, not long afterward, a ray of light rose from a castle in the Samsara city. Following that, a surge of horrifying energy spread across the entire city. Someone shouted, "Everyone stop!" Many people used psychic power to look at that castle. Lu Renhuang took a look. He was afraid. He put away his spear and stopped attacking. That is so horrifying. Lu Ling winked at the others. They stopped fighting and gathered together. Their gazes were fixed on the castle. 3 people flew up. The leader was someone of unknown age. His hair was gray and his eyebrows were long like swords. There was a kind of power coming from him. One look at him would suffocate people. Shameless. Jiang Qiling threw him a look and murmured to herself. Her face was clouded. She knew the 3. They were the deputy master of the demon-slaying hall and 2 other patriarchs. Deputy Master used to be the master of the Samsara Palace. Why did he show up when Lu Renhuang, Jiang Qiling, and the others were gaining the upper hand? No one would believe that they were here for fun. Deputy Master took a glance at them and bellowed. The 4 alien races are bearing down on us. We are losing ground in the demon-slaying battleground. Grand Master has died a heroic death, and the human race has suffered heavy casualties. How can you fight among yourselves? Are you courting death? What? Everyone was shocked. Jiang Qiling was surprised as well. It had been half a year since she went back to the Pavilion of Delicacy. She didn't know that something like this was happening in the demon-slaying battleground. Lu Ling and the others put on a mocking smile. They could not figure out why the 4 forces would attack in advance. Xingmu had died and Deputy Master had taken over. No wonder the 4 families could be so unscrupulous. Well said, Deputy Master. A faint voice came from the north. Then, a bead whooshed across the sky from the north. It was so fast that many didn't even see it clearly before the bead stopped next to Lu Ling and the others. The cold voice continued. Grand Master has passed away. The 4 forces invaded the northern desert, the Clouds Plains, and the Serenity Plains at once. They slaughtered hundreds of millions. The 4 forces... No, the 6 forces deserve to die. Today, Second Palace Master, let's slaughter all 6 of their clans. If you don't, I'll kill you. Finally, Luli arrived. P.S. I recommend a good Xianhuan book called Ancient Slayer by Snow Ginseng. This book is free for the VIP members. If you're short of books, you can search for the title of the book or the author. Chapter 793. The time Luli expected was not too far off, but he was still late by an hour. If he had come an hour earlier, those human sovereign realm warriors wouldn't have to die, and so could the earth immortal realm warriors of the Pavilion of Delicacy. Fortunately, Lu Renwang came and Jiang Qiling and Prajna's help. Otherwise, Lu Ling, Bai Qiuxue, and the others would have gone to the underworld. Luli checked with psychic power to make sure that everyone was fine. He was relieved. When he saw Jiang Qiling, Prajna, and great-grandfather Five were here, he felt a surge of warmth in his heart. This was a difficult situation, one that could even lead to certain death. But they had come without hesitation. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Who is that? When he used psychic power to check the sky and saw Lu Renwang showed a trace of surprise. Lu Renwang was covered in a golden armor. Luli could not see his face, but he could feel that he was as powerful as a demon and that domineering aura. Luli was not familiar with the mystic armor of the Lu family. He thought it was a quasi-relic. He wondered if it was that mysterious, powerful warrior. No. When Luli was about to call back his psychic power, Lu Renwang's helmet moved, revealing a handsome but weathered face. There were tears in his eyes, filled with guilt and self-blame. Father! Luli trembled. His expressions were complicated. Just like Lu Ling, there was resentment, grievance, surprise, and longing. Finally, Lu Renwang showed up. Luli's resentment was alleviated a bit. Okay. Lu Renwang finally came out. Luli felt more at ease. He called back his psychic power and turned to Deputy Master. Deputy Master looked awful. Xing Mu died in battle, and Deputy Master had become the Grand Master of the Demon Slaying Hall. Today was his first time back to the Central Plains. He felt he was returning to his hometown in glory. However, as soon as he came out, his words shocked everyone. Luli had come out of nowhere and declared publicly that he was going to kill Deputy Master. In the old days, Deputy Master would have slapped Luli. But now, he said nothing because the speed of the wicked bead scared him. The bead was faster than him? Deputy Master said nothing, but Patriarch Yang was furious. Back at the demon-slaying city, Lu Li and Little White crippled his two arms. For years, Patriarch Yang could not even hold his head up. Patriarch Yang was not afraid, even though Lu Li had obtained a piece of treasure that seemed to be evil. At the moment, Deputy Master was not representing one person, but the entire demon-slaying hall. Therefore, Patriarch Yang yelled, Lu Li, Grand Master, is now the Grand Master and the leader of the human race. Half a year ago, the Palace Master even broke through to the Heaven's chosen realm, and he is fully deserving of being the most powerful person in the human race. How dare you speak rudely? It was treason. Why don't you come out and beg for mercy from the Hall Master? Wow. Everyone was in an uproar. Lu Ling, Jiang Qiling, Jiang Hua, and great-grandfather Five were shocked. G.A.O., Xian, and the others were in high spirits. The warriors of the Samsara Palace were overjoyed. The realm of the Chosen One. This was an existence that surpassed the Earth immortal realm. Xing Mu's talent was unparalleled, and his combat strength had been unparalleled for 1,000 years. However, he was still half a step away from the Ascendant stage. It was not only a blessing for the Samsara Palace, but also a blessing for the human clan that the second master broke through to the Chosen One and was promoted to the position of first master. Lu Renhuang's expressions were awful. The moment Deputy Master showed up, he felt threatened. Deputy Master had suppressed his energy on purpose. That being said, a Chosen One was one realm higher than an Earth immortal realm warrior. Lu Renhuang could tell at once. Chosen One? Is that impressive? Lu Li sneered. Just a semi-god realm warrior. He went to the semi-god realm sea that he had seen in the purgatory of primordial chaos at the Central Imperial Universe. Since many semi-god realm warriors had died, Lu Li could tell as soon as Deputy Master came. But he didn't mind. Lu Li's words surprised Jiang Qiling and Jiang Hua. What was so impressive about a Chosen One? The Chosen One was the most powerful human in history. The birth of a Chosen One was a blessing for the human race. The human race would enjoy glory and peace for 10,000 years. Buzzing, 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 the wicked beads suddenly glowed as one Earth immortal realm warrior after another came out. All of them had quasi-relic armors. Of course, many quasi-relic armors were temporarily given to them by Lu Li. In the forbidden ground of Elder God, Lu Li had acquired many quasi-relic armors. As soon as the 13 Earth immortal realm warriors showed up, they flew out and stood in front of the others. They surrounded Lu Ling, by Qiuxiu, Jiang Qiling, by Xiaoshuang, and Lu Feixue, who were tied to the pillars. Lu Li sneered, "Deputy Master, don't think too highly of a chosen one. Over the years, at least 10 chosen one have died because of me. You, who have just reached the semi-god realm, are nothing to me. I will give you one chance. Kill the 6 races with your own hands, and I will spare your life." Silence, deathly silence. The moment the 13 Earth immortal realm warriors showed up, many people trembled in fear. They stared at the 13 standing in midair in disbelief. All of a sudden, 13 Earth immortal realm warriors showed up. 7 or 8 of them were as powerful as Gao Xian and Yang Buqing. All of them were wearing quasi-relic armors. Their glows blinded many people. What was more, Lu Li's words scared them to death. Was it because he had lost more than 10 chosen one? If Lu Li didn't send out 13 Earth immortal realm warriors, people might think he was just talking nonsense. But at the moment, many dared not to question Lu Li's words. The fact that Lu Li could send out 13 Earth immortal realm warriors was proof that he was extraordinary. Hiss, at the city west, Ji Mingtian, Yang Xian, and the others were still fighting against the walking puppets. They gasped in fear. They had thought that Lu Li had not shown up before because he was cultivating to reach the next realm. It would be amazing for Lu Li to reach the human sovereign realm in 5 years, even if he was talented. How could they know that he had sent out 13 Earth immortal realm warriors? Deputy Master's eyes were ghastly. He put on a solemn expression. The 13 Earth immortal realm warriors were unfamiliar. They were not from the Heaven Reverse universe. If so, then they must be powerful warriors from the outside world. Was there such a powerful, small world outside of the Heaven Reverse universe? More than 10 chosen one have died because of him. Is there a more powerful universe outside of the Heaven Reverse universe? Deputy Master remembered a record in the history of the Demon Slaying Hall. There was once a powerful warrior from an alien universe that came to the Heaven Reverse universe. If Lu Li really had the support of family from an alien universe, then Deputy Master, a warrior who had just reached the Heaven Reverse universe, would be nothing. Ha ha ha. Up in the sky, Lu Renwang laughed. His laughter was filled with pride. Any father would be proud to have such an outstanding son. The situation was in a stalemate. Miserable cries came from the east, south, west, and north of the city. The walking puppets were still wreaking havoc. Deputy Master waved his hand and said, "Patriarch Yang, Patriarch Li, go and deal with the walking puppets." The longer it dragged on, the more people would die. No matter how the situation turned out, the walking puppets must be eliminated first, to fight or to make peace. Deputy Master was in a dilemma. If they fought, what if there were some chosen warriors in Lu Li's wicked bead? By then, everyone would have to die. If they made peace, then he, the new Grand Master, would lose all his authority. How could he lead the warriors in the future? Chapter 794. Patriarch Yang and Patriarch Li flew over. They had been at the Earth Immortal Realm for many years and were at the later stage of the Earth Immortal Realm. They went to the city west to deal with the walking puppets. Deputy Master gave another order. Ao Xian, go and deal with the walking puppets. I will stay here. Gao, Xian, and the other Earth Immortal Realm warriors left. Lu Renwang flew down after some thoughts. Lu Li said, "Save them first." 5 of the 13 Earth Immortal Realm warriors dashed into the column and saved Lu Feixue and the others. Yi Cha wept. He knelt in midair after he was saved and said, "Saint Lord, I am so sorry. I am too ashamed to face you." Buzzing, the wicked bead glowed as it took in Lu Feixue by Xiaoshuang, Yi Cha, and the others. Then Luli said, Sister, Chioshua, Chiling, Little White, Hu Lang, don't resist. After a ray of light, Lu Ling, by Chioshua, Jiang Chiling, Little White, Hu Lang, and the other human sovereign realm warriors were taken in. As soon as Little White went in, it threw itself into Lu Li's arms and called him affectionately. Darling, Jiang Chiling trembled when she saw Lu Li's face that had appeared in her dreams many times. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Bai Chioshua was sobbing as well. Lu Li reached out his hands. They could not help themselves anymore and threw themselves into Lu Li's arms. On Lu Li's shoulder stood Little White, and in his arms were Jiang Chiling and Bai Chioshua. He comforted them gently and said to Lu Ling, Sister, I am back. Good. It is good that you are back. Lu Ling put on a bright smile. As far as she was concerned, as long as Lu Li could come back safely, that was enough. All right, my aunt and the others need to be taken care of. Go and help them. I will deal with the situation outside. Lu Li patted Jiang Chiling and Bai Chioshua. They stopped crying and went to check on Lu Feishua, Bai Xia Shuang, and Madame Yan. Lu Li used psychic power to check. Deputy Master stood in midair while the other Earth Immortal Realm warriors went to deal with the walking puppets. The walking puppets were dying quickly. Patriarch Yang, Patriarch Li, Gao Xian, and Yang Buqing all had quasi-relics in their hands. They could kill a walking puppet in one move. Lu Li did not mind the walking puppets. He checked Prajna with psychic power and noticed that the little nun had grown up. She changed from a little girl to a little lowly. Unfortunately, she was a nun, so her delicate face lost some of the charm of a woman. Henya, thank you. Lu Li said, You don't have to do anything today. Go back to the great Buddhist temple. I'll go to Mount Buddha to find you after I'm done with my business. All right. Prajna put on a sweet smile. Even though Lu Li didn't show up, his words were enough. She didn't want to stay here either. She couldn't bear to see so many people being killed. Since Lu Li was confident, she didn't want to implicate the great Buddhist temple. Amiba. The old monk behind Prajna put his palms together and bowed to the wicked bead. Almsgiver Lu, it is better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Forgive and forget. The 4 alien races are bearing down on us. The human race is weak. It is better not to kill. If it were someone else saying this, Lu Li would have dismissed it as nonsense. But the great Buddhist temple had done him a favor. Lu Li nodded and said, I will remember your words. Master, please take Prajna back. Thank you very much. The old monk put his palms together again and flew away with Prajna. Soon, they vanished into the horizon. Lu Renwang, Jiang Hua, Great-Grandfather 5, and the others stood in the sky with pride. None of them said anything. Lu Li was in charge now, because none of them was sure that they could defeat Deputy Master. Deputy Master said nothing for a while. Seeing that the walking puppets were almost finished, he said, Lu Li, the Master is right. The 4 alien races are bearing down on us, and the human race is weak. You can leave now, and I will let bygones be bygones. Deputy Master had made a big concession. In other words, he was ready to make peace. If Lu Li nodded and said yes, the matter would be over. As for whether or not Deputy Master would set up traps and plot against Lu Li, that would depend on the means and abilities of both sides. Jiang Hua and the others were relieved. Not only had Deputy Master become a chosen warrior, he had been promoted to the Grand Master. At the moment, Deputy Master was not only representing one person, but the entire demon-slaying hall, the most powerful force of the human race, a real overlord. Lu Li's sneer made Jiang Hua and the others' hearts sink. Lu Li quickly said, Northern Desert, Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, and the deserted world have lost over 100 million people. You want to smooth things over with just one sentence? You are the current Grand Master of the Demon-Slaying Hall. Have you forgotten the rules of the Demon-Slaying Hall? The Demon-Slaying Hall cannot get involved in the disputes of the Great Land. Can you, as the Grand Master, make an exception? It was true that the Demon-Slaying Hall had rules that forbade interference in the affairs of the Great Land. That being said, the rules only applied to patriarchs and members of the Demon-Slaying Hall, not to the Grandmasters. Didn't Xing Mu protect Luli for 10 years? Of course, Luli could not say this openly. Deputy Master was angry. Luli had no sense of propriety. He had given Deputy Master a way out. Deputy Master had just been promoted to the position of Grandmaster. If Luli were to kill in front of him, how could he command the warriors in the future? What was more, Deputy Master was from the G family. Even though his soul had been reconstructed, the G family was his offspring. How could he bear to see the G family destroyed? Deputy Master glanced at the wicked bead. Luli didn't show up, not even to bid farewell to Prajna. Suddenly, a thought came to Deputy Master's mind. Was Luli afraid that he would be killed by Deputy Master in one move? If Luli was afraid of death, then there must be no chosen warriors in the bead. Otherwise, given Luli's temper, he wouldn't be wasting time here. He would have started a killing spree. On this thought, Deputy Master felt a bit more confident. He said coldly, "What do you want?" Luli was hesitating. He remembered what the old monk said before he left. He also remembered that Xingmu had died. The situation in the demon-slaying battleground must be bad. Luli thought for a while and made some concessions: Samsara Palace, Hades Society, Pavilion of Blossoms, Yiksha Race, and Life League. All warriors above the human sovereign realm must die. This is my bottom line. Of the 6, Luli only mentioned 5. The Lu family would discuss with Lu Renwang later. More than 100 million of the northern desert, Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, and the deserted world lost their lives. Luli must avenge them. Luli's words were resolute and decisive. There was no room for bargaining. His voice was loud and resounded across the city. Many people were taken aback. Above the human sovereign realm. If warriors above the human sovereign realm of the 5 forces were killed, then it would be no different from the extinction of their families. In the past, the 5 forces had offended too many families. Once their powerful warriors were killed, the rest of their families would be torn apart by their enemies. Even if their enemies didn't make a move, the 5 forces had occupied too many resources and possessed too much wealth. Many families would fight over the 5 forces. It was possible that the old warriors in seclusion would take actions. By then, the 5 forces would face the same fate. Good. Deputy Master laughed out of anger. He no longer suppressed his energy. His energy spread out like a mountain, enveloping the entire city. A huge saber appeared in Deputy Master's hand. He unsheathed it slowly and said, "Luli, since you refuse to come to your senses, I will have to punish you on behalf of heaven." Chapter 795. As for the 5 forces, they had lost nearly 10 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Since Deputy Master had brought 2 patriarchs of the demon-slaying hall with him, the total number of Earth Immortal Realm warriors was nearly 20. Luli had taken in by Qiushue, Lu Ling, Little White, and Jiang Qiling. The monk Prajna had left, but Luli had sent out 13 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Therefore, the number of Earth Immortal Realm warriors was about the same. That being said, Lu Renhuang could fight against the 5 family patriarchs on his own. Of the 13 soul slaves Luli had, 8 of them were as strong as Gao Xian. Therefore, Luli's side had the upper hand in terms of Earth Immortal Realm warriors, not to mention Deputy Master and Luli. That being said, Deputy Master had reached the semi-god realm. If Deputy Master were to make a move, Lu Renhuang and the others would not stand a chance. Deputy Master unsheathed his saber. The saber glowed with some runes. It was a quasi-relic. Pointing the saber at the wicked bead, he said, "Luli, I'm going to ask you one last time. Are you going to leave or not?" Whoosh! The wicked bead flew up. Luli shouted, "Deputy Master, if you are not convinced, come and fight me. Great-grandfather 5, Father, kill all the powerful warriors of the 5 forces. Kill the patriarchs of the demon-slaying hall as well. Leave Deputy Master to me." Deputy Master snorted. He flew up and slashed at the wicked bead with his saber in a streak of light, like a rainbow hanging in the sky. Charge! Luli's 13 soul slaves were the first to move. They dashed toward the powerful warriors of the 5 forces like hungry tigers. Lu Renwang did not hesitate. His spear glowed in a golden light. He dashed over and shouted at Gao Xian. Gao Xian, go to hell. Great-grandfather 5 came out. Jiang Wua and the others were hesitating. If it were just the 5 forces, they might not have to worry so much. But now that the demon-slaying hall was involved, the nature of the matter had changed. Once they made a move, they would be challenging the demon-slaying hall. If Luli could not stop Deputy Master, the Pavilion of Delicacy would be destroyed. Never mind. Jiang Hua remembered that Jiang Qiling had given herself to Luli, and Jiang Qiling could not change her mind. Jiang Qiling was the hope of the Jiang family. They could not give her up. Such being the case, the Jiang family was now in the same boat with Luli. They were bound together for good or ill. Jiang family had to take the risk. Kill! Jiang Hua shouted. He rushed toward the Earth Immortal Realm Warriors of the Life League and the Yiksha race with the 2 Earth Immortal Realm Warriors. The war started again. Bang! High up in the sky, Deputy Master hacked at the wicked bead with his saber. The bead was smashed away. The wicked bead glowed, but there was no sign of damage. Oomph! Deputy Master slid his saber and tore apart the sky. He dashed toward the wicked bead again and again, hacking at the wicked bead. The bead shone brightly, and every time it was struck, it would be sent flying thousands of feet away. The pearl quickly disappeared from everyone's sight. The second palace master followed closely behind and continued to hack at it. Then, he disappeared from everyone's sight. All right, Lu Renhuang was exhilarated. Deputy Master had hacked at him for so many times, but the bead was still intact. So it seemed that Luli did have what it took to fight against Deputy Master. As long as they could delay for an hour, they could easily end the battle here, and the powerhouses of the 5 clans could be wiped out. Luli, you have to hold on. Jiang Hua prayed to himself. Luli's bead was smashed away every time, but Luli never used any skills. Jiang Hua was not so sure. Is the bead a quasi-relic as well? Great-grandfather 5's eyes glowed. Deputy Master had hacked at the bead for so many times, but the bead remained intact. Great-grandfather 5 saw some hope. Luli's Earth Immortal Realm Warrior sneered. The bead was a relic. Every time it was smashed away, Luli was controlling it on purpose. He was trying to distract Deputy Master so that they could finish the job easily. Uncle 9 of the June family could tell what Luli was thinking. He shouted, "You don't have to worry about young Master Lu. That Grandmaster cannot hurt him. Not even 100 warriors of his level can hurt him." They looked at each other, speechless. Uncle 9 of the June family was not weaker than the latter stage of the Earth Immortal Realm. He would not say something like that. Since he had said so, he must be confident. Okay. Jiang Hua and Great-grandfather 5 were relieved. Their morale was boosted. They launched attacks at the 5 alien races with all their might. Gao Xian and the others were taken aback by Uncle 9 of the June family's words. Warriors of this level would not bother to brag. So, was Deputy Master really not a match for Luli? How was that possible? How old was Luli? He was only 23 years old. He could fight against a chosen warrior at the age of 23? Was Luli possessed by Emperor of Heaven Reverse? Not even Emperor of Heaven Reverse could become a chosen warrior at the age of 23. Mengtian, leave now. Gao Xian was losing confidence. He sent a message to Ji Mengtian and the others. Most of the walking puppets had been wiped out. It was pointless for Ji Mengtian and the others to stay. It would always be better for them to leave first regardless of the outcome. Yang Buqing and Granny Butterfly told Yang Xian, Yang Yu, and Dai Fei Yu to leave as well. In a fight between Earth Immortal Realm warriors, the young ones would not be able to help. Instead, they would be burdened. Let's go. Ji Mengtian waved to Ji Mengyao and the other young masters and young ladies of the Ji family and ran away. Yang Xian, Yang Yu, and Dai Fei Yu followed her. Ji Mengtian, Ji Mengyao, and Yang Xian were all upset. They were all chosen warriors, and they believed themselves to be the best in the world. Lu Ling, by Qiushue, and Jiang Qiling had already dealt them a blow. Lu Li's appearance tore their confidence to shreds. Dai Feiyu was filled with anxiety and regret. Lu Li had always been the devil in her heart. She didn't want to get involved this time. However, the Pavilion of Blossoms wanted to save face. She had no other choice but to go with them. Little did she expect that things would turn out like this. Thinking that the Pavilion of Blossoms might be wiped out because of this battle, Dai Feiyu began to tremble in fear. In addition to Ji Mengtian and the others, Gao Xian asked some young human sovereign realm warriors to leave secretly to preserve the strength of the Samsara Palace. The warriors could not offer much help in a fight between Earth and Mortal Realm warriors. It was better to preserve some hope. Bang, bang, bang. The morale of the 5 alien races was low. Lu Renwang was strong, and Lu Li's Earth and Mortal Realm warriors were fearless. Soon, the 5 alien races gained the upper hand. If it were not for Patriarch Li and Patriarch Yang of the Demon-Slaying Hall, the 5 alien races would have been defeated. Bang! After the time for 1 incense stick to burn, Lu Renwang stabbed an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Samsara Palace to death. In the Ice Abyss, Lu Renwang learned a powerful, profound meaning, the Ice Profound meaning. If an enemy was frozen by the ice when he was attacking, the enemy could only wait for death. With the 9th rank mystic armor, Lu Renwang should be invincible among the Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Nobody could kill him. The best they could do was to injure him. His attacks were sharp. In a one-on-one fight, he could defeat any Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Boom, boom. The 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors were attacked by 5 of Lu Li's Earth Immortal Realm warriors. One was badly injured and the other died. The situation was clear now. If Deputy Master did not come back soon, in the time for 3 incense sticks to burn, Gao Xian, Patriarch Yang, and the others would all be killed. Chapter 796. Deputy Master was dozens of miles away from the Samsara city. Every time, he would hit the bead and it would be smashed away. At the same time, Lu Li began to move the bead to the left and right. Gradually, they were dozens of miles apart. Uncle Nine of the June family was right. Lu Li was luring Deputy Master away on purpose. He could not kill a semi-god realm warrior yet. Naturally, he had to find a way to distract him so that Lu Renwang and his Earth Immortal Realm warriors could finish off the 5 alien races. There was still plenty of energy in the Wicked Bead. Deputy Master couldn't crack the bead even if he were to attack for 100 years. Lu Li moved the Wicked Bead to the left and right to dodge Deputy Master's attacks. Every time Deputy Master made a move, Xian-Chi in heaven and earth would be attracted. Every time, the blade would land on the bead. Admittedly, Deputy Master was quite capable. Bang! A jade talisman on Deputy Master's waist cracked. He paused for a moment. He seemed to be in a dilemma. Patriarch Yang had asked for help, which meant that the situation was not optimistic. If Deputy Master didn't go, everyone here might be killed. However, he had made so many moves. It seemed that the bead could explode at any time. Should he give up now? As long as Lu Li could be taken down, Deputy Master could deal with the others. After a moment of hesitation, Deputy Master decided to keep attacking the bead for the time for 1 incense stick to burn. Could Patriarch Yang and the others last for the time for 1 incense stick to burn? Lu Li, how is it out there? Lu Ling, who was in the Wicked Bead, asked with concern. Lu Feishue and the others were only poisoned, which was not serious. They would recover soon after taking pellets. Lu Li looked at Lu Ling with a smile and said, "Sister, don't worry. Everything is under control. It is a piece of cake to wipe out the 5 alien races." Okay. Lu Ling was relieved. She had complete trust in Lu Li. She didn't mind what was going on outside. She turned to Lung Wuxin in the corner and asked with curiosity, "Who is this young lady?" Bai Qiuxue and Jiang Qiling had seen Lung Wuxin a while ago. They didn't feel good to see such a delicate beauty. They thought that Lu Li was flirting with a girl. Now that Lu Ling had asked, both turned to Lu Li. "She is my soul slave. Don't worry about her." Lu Li smiled, but didn't explain too much. After the time for 1 incense stick to burn, Deputy Master lost his patience and decided to go back to check. Whoosh, the second Hallmaster was not far from Samsara City. With the speed of a divine transformation realm expert, it only took him a few dozen breaths to fly back to Samsara City. He swept a glance from afar, and his expression became incomparably gloomy. On Lu Renhuang's side, no one died. Only 4 or 5 were wounded, and one had his arm cut off. 6 Earth immortal realm warriors of the 5 alien races had perished. 4 badly wounded. Only Gao Xian, Yang Buqing, Granny Flower Butterfly, Patriarch Yang, Patriarch Li, Che the Terror, and another Earth immortal realm warrior were still unharmed. Deputy Master was enraged. He understood Lu Li's strategy now. Deputy Master wanted to distract him so that Lu Renhuang and the others could finish the job. Killing intent surged in his eyes. Since Lu Li had sent someone to kill his people, why didn't he kill Lu Li's people? He just needed to kill Lu Renhuang and the others and then slowly crack the bead. Die! His saber whooshed across the sky. He flew over and hacked at one of Lu Li's soul slaves. Whoosh! The wicked bead had been following them. At the top of its speed, the wicked bead flew over and stopped in front of the Earth Immortal Realm soul slave. With a flash of light, the Earth Immortal was sucked into the bead. Bang! The saber landed on the wicked bead. This time, the bead was not smashed away. It floated in midair, unmoving. Ha ha ha! Lu Li's laughter came from inside. Deputy Master, have you finally come to your senses? It is too late. Father, great-grandfather 5, Uncle Jiang, don't fight back. The wicked bead flew over, circled around them, and took them all in. This time, it was Deputy Master's turn to be dumbfounded. He had to go back to hacking at the bead now that he had been taken in. Whoosh! The wicked bead did not fly away. Instead, it enlarged and smashed down at the ground. There were still many warriors on the ground. A large number of them were crushed to death by the bead. Whoosh! The bead ran amok in the city. All the warriors that were hit by the bead, be they of the Eternal Realm, Noble Lord Realm, or Human Sovereign Realm, died. Many places in the city were flattened. The wicked bead was flying around. The vast ancient city had turned into ruins. Bodies were everywhere, and blood flowed like a river. Spread out. Run! Gao Xian shouted. There were only a few warriors from other major families here. Most of them were from the Samsara Palace. Gao Xian's heart was bleeding as he watched the warriors being crushed to death. The Samsara Palace had 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors, and its affiliated forces had 3. Apart from Gao Xian and 1 seriously injured Earth Immortal Realm warrior, the others had all perished. What was more, many human Sovereign Realm warriors were killed. Even if they could win, the Samsara Palace would suffer a great loss. The title of the most powerful force of the Central Plains would no longer belong to the Samsara Palace. Deputy Master stood in midair with pride. He did not dare to take any actions because there were so many warriors on the ground. If he were to make a move, those warriors would be killed by the shockwaves. Therefore, he could only watch as Lu Li slaughtered the warriors. Lu Li, you devil. What is so great about you killing average warriors? You are unpardonable. You deserve to be hacked to pieces. Gao Xian bellowed, seeing that hundreds of thousands of the millions of warriors had been killed by Lu Li. Those warriors were the core of the Samsara Palace, and many of them were disciples of the Ji family. Lu Li sneered. Why didn't you show mercy when you slaughtered hundreds of millions of people of the Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, and the Northern Desert? What did those civilians do wrong? Killing warriors is forgivable in a fight between forces. But you killed civilians as well. How can the tens of millions of innocent civilians rest in peace if I do not uproot the Ji family? For a moment, Gao Xian did not know how to refute Lu Li's words. He didn't go to the Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, or the Northern Desert, and he didn't restrain his warriors. He heard that many civilians had died, but he didn't care. Now, karma had come, and it had come so fast, Gao Xian's face turned pale. Seeing that Lu Li was still slaughtering, he shouted, Lu Li, come at us if you are a man of character. Gao Xian, am standing right here. Come and kill me if you have the guts. Whoosh, Gao had just finished his words when the wicked bead flew up at the top of its speed toward Gao. The wicked bead was not far away from Gao in the first place. The wicked bead was not affected at all, even though Deputy Master reacted quickly. The wicked bead smashed away Gao. Swish, swish, the wicked bead glared. Dragons of wind whooshed out and enveloped Gao. Gao howled in pain in midair. Buzzing, Lu Renwang showed up. His golden spear glowed as he stabbed at Gao's head. Deputy Master's eyes were wide open. He shouted, "Lu Renwang, how dare you?" Bang, bang, bang. Lu Renwang stabbed 3 times in a row. Then, he vanished in midair and was taken back by the wicked bead. Even though Gao was wearing a quasi-relic, his soul was under attack just now. He could not defend himself. Blood flowed out from his eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. He fell to the ground powerlessly. He was stabbed to death by Lu Renwang. Family patriarch. The severely injured patriarch of the Ji family cried out in sorrow. Yang Buqing, Granny Flower, Che the Terror, and the others were pale. They looked at each other and had the same thought. After today, I'm afraid the divine Great Land will have a big change. P.S. Chosen warriors, remember to vote for me every day. Chapter 797. Boom! Gao fell onto the plaza, kicking up a cloud of dust. Blood oozed out from his eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. His eyes were wide open. He died with everlasting regret. There were tens of thousands of warriors around the plaza, all of them from the Ji family. They trembled in disbelief, seeing how Gao died with everlasting regret. Ji family patriarch, master of the Samsara Palace, the leader of the most powerful force of the Central Plains, the most powerful warrior on the warlord list of the Central Plains, was killed. Gao made a name for himself 100 years ago. He used to be the most powerful young master of the Ji family. Then, he became the master of the Hall of Warfare of the Samsara Palace. 50 years ago, he took over as the family patriarch of the Ji family and master of the Samsara Palace. At first, he only ranked number 78 on the warlord list of the Central Plains. Over 20 years ago, he climbed up the ranks and became the most powerful warrior of the Central Plains. Since then, he had never fallen. The warlord list of the Central Plains was a ranking of powerful warriors of the Central Plains. Powerful warriors of the demon-slaying hall were not included. That being said, Gao had occupied the first place of the warlord list of the Central Plains for more than 20 years. It was not hard to imagine how powerful he was. Today he was killed. Lu Li merely bumped him with the bead, and Lu Renhuang came out and stabbed him 3 times before he died. Gao was not only the master of the Samsara Palace, but also an immortal to the warriors of the Samsara Palace, an invincible being. Now that an immortal was dead, the warriors on the ground were scared out of their wits. Run! No one knew who shouted, but panic began to spread. Countless soldiers fled for their lives. Lu Li had crushed many with the wicked bead. They had been wanting to run for their lives. Gao's death shattered the morale of the warriors. Almost all of them began to flee. There were people everywhere, like an ant nest in a frying pan. Lu Li, Lu Run Huang. From the sky came a cry of sorrow. Deputy Master had lost his mind. He didn't mind the heavy casualties of the Ji family, because he was here. Even if the Ji family was weakened, they could recover gradually as long as he was here. Gao's death was a fatal blow to the Ji family. The death of a mainstay of a family was devastating for the Ji family. He was the Grand Master of the Demon-Slaying Hall. He could not stand up for the Ji family in public. After Gao's death, the external clan and affiliated forces of the Ji family would not be able to survive. The huge Samsara Palace would be torn apart, and it would be almost impossible to restore its former glory. Therefore, Deputy Master was driven mad. If he could kill Lu Li and Lu Renhuang, he might be able to salvage the situation. If they could not even kill Lu Li's men, who would follow the Ji family in the future, Bang, bang, bang. Deputy Master poured profound meaning into the wicked bead like crazy. However, the wicked bead was motionless, allowing Deputy Master to do as he pleased. Luli sneered, "Deputy Master, do it harder. If you can blast open the wicked bead in 100 years, we will surrender and be at your mercy." Hiss, hiss, Yang Buching, Granny Butterfly, and Gu Che's countenance changed greatly. The bead didn't move at all under the second Palace Master's violent attack. It was absolutely impossible for it to be a semi-divine tool. Could it be a divine tool? Thinking of the 13 strange Earth Immortal Realm warriors with Lu Li, the three of them shared the same thought. Did Lu Li go to the divinity? He snatched a divine artifact from the god world and recruited more than 10 subordinates. That was not possible. Only immortals could go to the divinity, and they could not come back from there. What was more, if Lu Li had reached the immortal realm, there would be no need to waste time. He could kill Deputy Master in one move and dominate the Heaven Reverse universe. Even so, the three of them were still fearful. Gao Xian was dead. Would they stay and wait for death? However, they were afraid of Deputy Master's power. The three of them dared not to leave. They kept their eyes on the wicked bead, ready to dodge at any time. Patriarch Yang and Patriarch Li of the demon-slaying hall looked at each other. They took out their weapons and began to blast at the wicked bead from 2 different directions, trying to help Deputy Master. Reckless, Lu Li sneered. The wicked bead suddenly glowed as he dashed toward Patriarch Yang at full speed. Whoosh! Surprised, Patriarch Yang dodged at once. But the wicked bead turned around and smashed at him. The wicked bead was as fast as a warrior at the middle stage of the semi-god realm. Patriarch Yang, an Earth Immortal Realm warrior, could not dodge. He was smashed away immediately. Whoosh! This time, the wicked bead did not stop. It dashed toward Patriarch Yang. The wicked bead smashed Patriarch Yang away for thousands of feet, leaving Deputy Master behind. Swish, swish! As soon as the dragons of wind appeared, Patriarch Yang was hit. He howled in pain in midair. Then, the wicked bead glowed as an Asmodean lord in golden armor came out. The Asmodean lord's spear glowed as he stabbed at Patriarch Yang's head 3 times in a row. Lu Renwang, go to hell. A giant void palm print appeared in the sky. The second Palace Master had released another ultimacy. The horrifying power of space came from all sides and suppressed the space. The hand smashed down at the wicked bead and Lu Renwang. Lu Li flew the wicked bead up and fended off the hand. Then, the wicked bead dashed down. After a glare, Lu Renwang vanished in midair again. PFF! Patriarch Yang spat out blood. His eyes lost focus and his hands trembled. The weapon in his hand dropped to the ground. Patriarch Yang fell down as well. The quasi-relic armor came off automatically. It checked with psychic power. Patriarch Yang was beyond saving. His head was crushed and his soul pond cracked. Another Earth Immortal Realm warrior had died. This time, it was a patriarch of the demon-slaying hall. Lu Li had declared war against the demon-slaying hall. Finally, Granny Flower, Che the Terror, Patriarch Li, and the others were scared. The wicked bead was faster than Deputy Master and could smash them away easily. Then, Lu Renhuang came out and killed them before going back into the wicked bead. Deputy Master could do nothing to Lu Li and Lu Renhuang. Lu Renhuang could kill them one at a time, without any suspense. Lu Renhuang's attacks were sharp. The dragons of wind that came out from the wicked bead were strange. As soon as Gao Xian and Patriarch Yang were enveloped, they cried out in pain, which sent chills down everyone's spine. Deputy Master went after the wicked bead again. This time, Lu Li didn't mind him. He looked at an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the G family, standing next to Gao Xian. That Earth Immortal Realm warrior was badly injured. He was covered in blood. He was hugging Gao Xian's body and crying. Whoosh! The wicked bead smashed down. That Earth Immortal Realm warrior's reaction was slowed down since he was badly injured. He was smashed into the ground. Though he survived, his injuries were worsened. Whoosh! The wicked bead with a length of 1,000 feet flew up and then smashed down like a meteorite. Again and again, The patriarch on the ground would be slowed down as soon as he tried to fly up. There was no way for him to dodge. He had to take the hits from the wicked bead again and again. 5 times, 8 times, 10 times. Chapter 798. The G Family Earth Immortal Realm Warrior was crushed to death. He was wearing a quasi-relic armor, but he could not stand so many strikes. Deputy Master had been attacking, but he could only watch as the G Family Earth Immortal Realm Warrior died. Let's go. Granny Flower Butterfly was scared. Should she stay here and wait for death? She flew away without any hesitation. She would not hesitate even if she had to offend Deputy Master. Yang Buching and Che the Terror were hesitating. They were still hesitating. The Ixia race was an ancient race that had been living by relying on the human race. If the Ixia race offended the demon-slaying hall, the Ixia race would be attacked by many. Yang Buching did not dare to offend Deputy Master. The Hades Society and the Samsara Palace were on good terms. Leaving at this moment would disappoint Deputy Master. Yang Buching and Lu Li had become enemies. Without the help of the demon-slaying hall, he would be killed by Lu Li sooner or later. After the G Family Earth Immortal Realm Warrior was crushed to death, Deputy Master calmed down from his rage. It seemed that he could not crack the bead on his own. At this rate, everyone apart from him would be killed by Lu Li. Asking for help? There were some Earth Immortal Realm Warriors in the demon-slaying hall, but what was the point? The wicked bead was faster than him. Lu Li and Lu Renwang could kill one Earth Immortal Realm Warrior at a time. What to do? Since he was born, this was the first time that Deputy Master felt so helpless. He did not know what to do and was in a dilemma. Retreating was out of the question. Otherwise, he would lose his position as Grandmaster. He could not do anything to Lu Li. He had to keep on blasting at the wicked bead. Warriors were running away from all sides. The city down below had been leveled to the ground. The wilderness was a mess, full of desolation. Whoosh, Lu Li turned to the other 3 severely injured Earth Immortal Realm Warriors. Since Deputy Master had been staying with the wicked bead, Lu Li could not let Lu Renwang out. The 3 severely injured Earth Immortal Realm Warriors were easy targets. Boom! An Earth Immortal Realm Warrior that was hiding under the ruins to tend to his wounds was smashed into the ground. This Earth Immortal Realm Warrior was smart enough to take out a saber and dig a tunnel underground. Lu Li checked with psychic power, but had to give up. The wicked bead flew up and dashed toward an Earth Immortal Realm Warrior next to Yang Buching. He was from the Hades Society. Lu Li once met him. He was the Deputy Master of the Hades Society, Yang Tianqing. Yang Tianqing's expression changed drastically. Yang Buching had no choice but to take out his saber to meet the attack. He shouted to Yang Tianqing, "Tianqing, you retreat first." Yang Tianqing flew towards the north like a sharp sword. Moreover, he was very smart. He flew close to the ground, which made him less of a target. He could drill into the ground and escape at any time. How could he let a cooked duck fly away? Lu Li snorted. The wicked bead flew past Yang Buching toward Yang Tianqing and smashed him into the ground. This time, Lu Li had learned his lesson and released Featherwind. As soon as the Featherwind appeared, Yang Tianqing's soul was under attack. There was no way he could escape. This time, Lu Li did not ask Lu Renwang to come out. Instead, he flew the wicked bead up and then smashed down again and again. Every time, Lu Li would release some Featherwind. In this way, Yang Tianqing would be attacked by the Featherwind constantly. There was no way for him to escape underground. Let's go. Another seriously injured Earth Immortal Realm Warrior made up his mind and fled. If he stayed, he would have to wait for his death. Another Earth Immortal Realm Warrior was running away. Yang Tianqing was about to be smashed to death. Chariot the Terror and Yang Buching were panicking. If they didn't run away, they might have fought to the death. Once someone ran away, panic would spread. After all, nobody wanted to die. Deputy Master, we have to go now. I am sorry. Seeing that Yang Tianqing was about to die, Yang Buching made up his mind and shouted. He turned around and dashed toward the west. This time, Chariot the Terror did not hesitate. He dashed toward the south at the same time. Both of them dashed into the ground and ran away, in the Samsara city, there used to be millions of people. Now, most of them were dead or running away. Apart from some dying warriors, only Deputy Master and Patriarch Lee were left. Of course, there were many scouts nearby. All the major families of the Central Plains had sent their scouts back to report what had happened. Many of those scouts were killed by mistake, but the show this time was exciting enough. Even if they died, they felt it was worth it. Boom! Finally, Yang Buching was smashed to death. Luli used psychic power to check. He was not annoyed to see that everyone had run away. Monks could run away, but not the temple. The Hades Society, Chariot Race, and Pavilion of Blossoms were powerful forces with a large population. Unless they gave up their territories at the Central Plains and fled into small worlds, Luli could find them and kill them one by one. Deputy Master was confused. He did not know what to do. Patriarch Lee was ready to run away as well. Right at that moment, a man came from the distance. Deputy Master took a look. It was a patriarch of the demon-slaying hall. It was Jiang Tianshun, Jiang Wu's father. The teleportation formation in the city was destroyed. Jiang Tianshun had to come from a nearby entrance. Grand Master, Jiang Tianshun shouted from the distance. Patriarch of Law Enforcement has sent me here to send a message. The 4 alien races are coming again. They cannot stand it any longer. Please go back and take charge. Luli and Deputy Master were taken aback at the same time. Both had the same question. Were the 4 alien races really at the border? Or did Patriarch of Law Enforcement send Jiang Tianshun here to give Deputy Master a way out? Deputy Master seemed to be in a dilemma. Whether the message was real or not, he did have a way out. But how could he swallow his anger if he were to leave now? Grand Master, seeing that Deputy Master didn't move, Jiang Tianshun shouted again. The 4 alien races have sent out millions of warriors with many powerful ones. Once Patriarch of Law Enforcement cannot stand it, the demon-slaying city will be leveled to the ground. By then, the 4 alien races will invade the Great Land, and the human race will be wiped out. Grand Master, please go back and take charge. Never mind, Deputy Master bellowed. Looking at the wicked bead, he said, Luli, I will let you go this time. When I defeat the 4 alien races, I will capture you with powerful warriors and put you on trial in front of so many races. The Samsara Palace had been wiped out. G family warriors had either died or escaped. It was pointless for Deputy Master to stay. He took Patriarch Lee with him and flew toward an entrance of the demon-slaying hall at the north. Jiang Tianshun didn't go with them. Looking at the Samsara city that had been reduced to ruins, the streets that were dyed red with blood, and the dead bodies all over the city, Jiang Tianshun sighed. The Samsara city, the largest city of the Central Plains, was destroyed today. The most powerful force of the Central Plains was wiped out by one person, a young man in his 20s. Jiang Tianshun wouldn't have believed it if someone told him years ago that Luli could wipe out the Samsara Palace. Patriarch of Law Enforcement sent him here to inform him of the situation, but Jiang Tianshun didn't believe it. But Luli had done it. Jiang Tianshun remembered Xing Mu's decision. Suddenly, he understood that Xing Mu had great foresight. Did he see that Luli was special? Maybe. The moment the statue of Emperor of Heaven reverse glowed, this day was destined. Luli. Jiang Tianshun stood still for a moment. Then he sighed and said, Patriarch of Law Enforcement asked me to send a message. Someone from the Asmodeans has reached the Asmodean realm, the chosen warrior. Grandmaster Xing was killed by that Asmodean lord. The future of a human race is uncertain. Patriarch of Law Enforcement hopes that you will stop the slaughter and save some hope and energy for the human race. Chapter 799. Deputy Master and Jiang Tianshun had left. Luli stopped the wicked bead in midair. He was in deep thought. The Samsara city and the Samsara palace had been destroyed. Luli's anger had subsided. If it was someone else persuading him, he definitely wouldn't listen. After all, the law enforcement elder was his ancestor. Patriarch of Law Enforcement said that there was a semi-god realm warrior among the Asmodeans and that Xing Mu was killed by him. Lu Li was in a dilemma. He had lost enough powerful warriors. If he were to wipe out the Hades Society, Pavilion of Blossoms, Yiksha race, and the Life League, the entire human race would suffer. Lu Renhuang and Lu Ling thought about it for a while. He told them about the situation outside and asked them to make a decision. Jiang Hua and great-grandfather Five were in there. They did not know what was going on outside. They only knew that Lu Renhuang had been teleported out several times. They did not know that Gao Xian had been killed as well. Jiang Hua and the others looked at Lu Li in a different light. This young man was no longer an average young man. He was a powerful warrior that could fight against the Grand Master of the Demon Slaying Hall. In other words, from today on, Lu Li would become the leader of the most powerful force at the Great Land apart from the Demon Slaying Hall. Lu Li was so young. His potential was limitless. How far could he go in the future? Nobody could tell. Lu Ling and Lu Renhuang were in deep thoughts. A glint of determination rose in Lu Ling's eyes. But since Lu Renhuang hadn't said anything, how could she, as his daughter, say anything? Lu Ling would wipe out the 6 alien races and leave no room for future troubles. She would even take down the Demon Slaying Hall. Let it go. Lu Renhuang turned to Lu Li and said, "Let's put this aside for now. Patriarch of Law Enforcement is your great-grandpa. He will not lie. Let's put the bigger picture of the human race aside." Lu Li could not say anything else since Lu Renhuang had said so. Lu Ling thought about it and said, "Brother, listen to father." Lu Ling valued filial piety. Since a young age, she had taught Lu Li not to resent his parents. She could not disobey Lu Renhuang. Where should we go next? Lu Li glanced at Jiang Hua and the others. "Uncle Jiang, how about you go back to the deserted world with me?" The forces of the Central Plains were nothing to be afraid of. What Lu Li was afraid of was that Deputy Master would settle scores with him later. Lu Li didn't care about himself, but if the Pavilion of Delicacy was implicated, deserted world? Jiang Hua shook his head and said, "The small world is poor in materials. It's hard for you to develop. If we go in, Lu Li smiled gently and said, "Uncle Jiang, you are wrong. The deserted world is small, but there are countless mystical materials and treasures. Not to mention one clan. Even if 10 great clans went in, I could guarantee your spiritual materials." He had obtained too many spiritual materials from the Inferno prison, not to mention the prison of wood, prison of earth, and prison of water. The natural treasures in these 3 territories were enough for the dazzling pavilion to cultivate for 1,000,000 years. Jiang Hua and the others were taken aback. Then they remembered that Lu Ling had made so many walking puppets, which would require a huge amount of mystical materials. Jiang Hua wondered if there were really treasures in the deserted world. Something is not right. Jiang Hua looked at Lu Li's more than a dozen soul slaves. An idea came to his mind. Maybe the deserted world was connected to another universe. Otherwise, where did these powerful warriors come from? Jiang Hua thought about it and said, "Let's go back to the Pavilion of Delicacy. I don't think the Demon Slaying Hall will vent their anger on us. As for going to the deserted world, we can talk about it later." Jiang Hua still didn't believe it. He didn't want to give up the territory of the Pavilion of Delicacy. He decided to send someone to the deserted world to have a look first before making a decision. Lu Renhuang said, "I need to go to the city of Mystic Armor to save your grandpa, and then go back to the Lu family. Lu Li, Lu Ling, why don't you go back to the deserted world first?" "Save my grandpa." Lu Li was surprised. He looked at Lu Ling, who asked, "Father, have you got the antidote to save my grandpa?" "Yes." Lu Renhuang nodded and said, "After I came out from the ice abyss, I went back to the city of Mystic Armor. Then I went to the voodoo land of the south and wiped out a major clan there to get the antidote. Then I hurried back." Voodoo land of the south. Lu Li, Lu Ling, Jiang Hua, and the others were shocked. Lu Renhuang dared to go to the voodoo land of the south all by himself. He wiped out a major clan there and came back unscathed. No wonder Lu Renhuang was nowhere to be seen all these years. Lu Li and Lu Ling sighed to themselves. Their resentment towards Lu Renhuang was gone. Lu Ling pouted and said, "Father, thank you for your hard work." Lu Renhuang put on a bitter expression. He patted Lu Ling's shoulder and sighed. "It is not hard for me. It is you two who have suffered. As a son, I am not filial. As a husband, I cannot protect my wife. As a father, I have never taught you how to protect you. I am such a failure." While he was speaking, tears welled up in his eyes, and he seemed to be in pain. Lu Li and Lu Ling didn't say anything. Jiang Wua threw Lu Renhuang a glance and said, "Lu Renhuang, life doesn't always go your way. Your son and daughter are so outstanding. You should be content." Lu Li thought about it and said, "Father, let us go to the city of mystic armor with you. We have nothing to do in the deserted world. Let's go and save Grandpa first." "Okay." Lu Renhuang nodded. But Jiang Wua didn't want to stay here any longer. He must go back to the Pavilion of Delicacy to make arrangements. If Deputy Master vented his anger on the Pavilion of Delicacy, all the Jiang family disciples would die. Jiang Wua must go back and make arrangements. Jiang Wua proposed to go back to the Pavilion of Delicacy. Lu Ling thought about it and asked Hu Lang to go with them. They could find a way to send a message to the deserted world. Naturally, Jiang Qiling wanted to go with Lu Li. After all, they hadn't seen each other for a long time, but she was worried about Jiang Wu's safety. Jiang Wu, on the other hand, insisted on going. Since Jiang Tianshun had sent a message, Deputy Master wouldn't stay any longer. What was more, as long as Lu Li was alive, Deputy Master wouldn't dare to do anything to the Pavilion of Delicacy. The wicked bead flew to the north. At a big city, Jiang Wu let Jiang Wu and the others out. There were scouts from the Pavilion of Delicacy in the city. Jiang Wu asked around and made sure that Deputy Master had gone back to the demon-slaying city. Jiang Wu was relieved and teleported back to the city of Delicacy. Lu Li flew the wicked bead toward the city of mystic armor in a straight line. The wicked bead was fast, even faster than teleportation. But it would take a long time if the distance was too far. Compared to the Earth Imperial Universe, the Central Plains was much smaller. Lu Li should be able to arrive in about a month. The war had come to an end. The scouts hiding outside the Samsara city sent the information to the entire Central Plains. In just 5 days, the entire Central Plains had heard about it. It was as if the entire Central Plains was in an earthquake. Every city was talking about it. Many people sighed, and many families were in a state of panic. The names of Lu Li, Lu Renhuang, and Lu Ling were mentioned over and over again. Regardless of the outcome, Lu Li would leave a mark in the history of the Great Land. Also, there was information from the demon-slaying hall. Xing Mu had died in battle, and someone of the Asmodeans had reached the Asmodean Lord level. The news that the 4 alien races were attacking the demon-slaying battleground was spread out as well. Many low-level warriors and civilians were living in fear. If the 4 alien races really breached the demon-slaying city, then all the civilians of the Great Land would be torn apart and enslaved by the 4 alien races. P.S. Monday, vote up. Chapter 800. Half a month. The turmoil in Zhongzhou State lasted for half a month before it gradually subsided. Even after half a month, many people still couldn't believe the news that the Samsara Palace had been destroyed. Many other families were in a panic. Lu Li had destroyed the Samsara Palace in front of the new Grandmaster of the Demon-Slaying Hall. Did that mean that Lu Li had the power to unify the world? If Lu Li led an army all the way, would the Great Land be unified by Lu Li? Once Lu Li had the idea of unifying the world, the entire Great Land would be in a bloodbath. Many people and families would be wiped out, and the Great Land would be covered with corpses. Many scouts also noticed that Lu Li was flying toward the east from the southwest. The speed of the pearl that he possessed was too frightening. Many experts from the various clans had specially checked it and confirmed that the pearl had reached an unimaginable speed. Luckily, Lu Li didn't stop. In half a month, he had traveled across half of the Central Plains. When this news spread out, the entire Central Plains was once again in an uproar. In half a month, apart from the super transmission array between the royal families, Even if one continuously teleported from a large region, it still wouldn't be that fast, right? Lu Li's target was clear. He was going after the Lu family. Back in the days, Lu Li was persecuted by the Lu family. Later on, Lu Xuan and others plotted against Lu Li. Many people were worried about the Lu family disciples. When Lu Li returned to the Mystic Armor region, there would be a bloodbath at the Lu family. Lu Jingtan and the others had teleported back to the Mystic Armor City through the Palace of Immortals Inquiries in the central region. Lu Jingtan and the others were in a state of panic when they heard the news. Many disciples of the Lu family, especially those from Lu Jingtan's branch and the powerful warriors that had been following Lu Jingtan over the years, were in a constant state of panic. Given Lu Li and Lu Ling's cruelty, how many would be killed when they returned to the Lu family? Many major families sent people to the demon-slaying hall to gather information about the 4 alien races. However, the demon-slaying hall was under lockdown. No information could be sent out, which made the Central Plains disciples even more uneasy. A month passed by in a flash. The wicked bead flew across the sky and finally arrived at the region of Mystic Armor. The region of Mystic Armor was the territory of the Lu family. There were many scouts stationed there. As soon as the wicked bead entered the region of Mystic Armor, it sent a report to the city of Mystic Armor. Some people in the city were happy, some were worried, and some even wanted to escape. That being said, Lu Li could destroy the Samsara Palace. What was the point of running to the end of the world? Without the support of the great clans, they could no longer make any progress in their cultivation. They could only run around like stray dogs. It was better to die in battle than to live such a life. Lu Jingtan did not run away. He began to arrange for Lu Xuan and the others to leave so that they could have some hope. Lu Xuan didn't run away. He knew how much Lu Li hated him. As the most powerful young master of the Lu family, Lu Xuan didn't want to run away like a stray dog. Several days later, the wicked bead arrived at the city of Mystic Armor. Lu Li used psychic power to check the city. He had mixed feelings. When he came to the city of Mystic Armor with Mingyu, Inyu Huashen, he had the thought of returning to his family, to find his family, and serve them. Yet, when he returned to the Lu family, he was bullied and schemed against countless times. He was almost killed and eventually expelled from the Lu family. The shield was not activated, but the city walls were crowded with warriors. Lu Jingtan and the others did not show up. Lu Li did not send anyone to investigate either. He did not know what was going on in the city. "Father, we have arrived at the city of Mystic Armor." Lu Li reported to Lu Renhuang, who was cultivating. Lu Renhuang opened his eyes. He stood up and said, "Teleport me out." Whoosh! Lu Li sent Lu Renhuang out and then looked at Lu Ling. Apart from Lung Wuxin, Madame Yin, by Qiu Shue, by Qiling, Lung Lung, and Tu and I, everyone related to the Lu family was teleported out. Lu Li flew the wicked bead around the city of Mystic Armor. Whoosh, 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 Lu Li's 13 soul slaves were flying around the city, checking with psychic power to see if Deputy Master was hiding in the city and if there were any special arrangements in the city. Lu Renhuang flew toward the city of Mystic Armor with Lu Feishue and Lu Ling. The 13 Earth, immortal realm warriors were flying around. Many people in the city were alarmed, but nobody dared to fly up. They could only watch from the distance. Many people were restless. Fear was written all over their faces. Sensing Lu Renhuang's strong energy and looking at the Earth immortal realm warriors, many people exclaimed. Life was full of ups and downs. Lu Renhuang, Lu Li, and the others had returned in glory. This was both a blessing and a curse for the Lu family. From today on, many people will be killed. Lu Jingtan and the others didn't run away. They stayed on a mountain of Mystic Armor, but none of them flew up. Lu Jingtan was sitting in the Hall of Patriarchs with Lu Tiandi. The 13 Earth Immortal Realm warriors and Yi Cha checked the city to make sure that Deputy Master was not hiding. The wicked bead glowed. For the first time, Lu Li came out. He stood behind Lu Renhuang, side by side with Lu Ling, Lu Feishue, and Great-Grandfather 5. They flew toward the mountain of Mystic Armor in a formidable array. 5 of the 13 Earth Immortal Realm warriors followed Lu Li, and the other 8 spread out to control the entire city of mystic armor. 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors sealed off all the teleportation formations. Yicha checked around and stayed alert. When they arrived at the mountain of mystic armor, more than a dozen people finally flew out. The leader was Patriarch 8, Lu Hongyu and Lu Lin. They looked at Lu Renhuang and Lu Li with mixed feelings. Lu Lin and Lu Hongyu, on the other hand, were delighted. The return of Lu Renhuang and Lu Li was a boon for them. Future family patriarch. Patriarch 8 and the others bowed to Lu Renhuang. Lu Renhuang said nothing. Patriarch 8 bowed again and said, "Future family patriarch, we are of the same family and we are connected by blood. Over the years, many powerful warriors of the Lu family have passed away. The family is weakened. I hope. Patriarch 8 couldn't finish a sentence. He felt ashamed and guilty as well. After all, Lu Zhangtan and Lu Fenghua had treated Lu Li badly, and Lu Xuan had plotted many times to kill Lu Li. The hatred ran deep. Lu Renhuang had learned a lot from Lu Li's great-grandfather 5 on the way. Looking at Patriarch 8 emotionlessly, Lu Renhuang said, "Uncle 8, I have a plan. Please stand on the side." Patriarch 8 used to be nice to Lu Li, and he was a fair man. Lu Renhuang didn't have to do anything to Patriarch 8. Lu Renhuang, addressing Lu Renhuang as Uncle 8, indicated his attitude. Patriarch 8 sighed and moved to the side with the others. Lu Renhuang flew down with Lu Li and the others and stood on the open ground outside the Hall of Patriarchs. In the Hall of Patriarchs, a group of powerful warriors sat together. Lu Zhangtan sat at the head of the table with Lu Tiandi on the left. Lu Fenghua, Lu Yintian, and more than a dozen patriarchs and deacons sat in a row. Lu Xuan, Lu Ni, and dozens of other young disciples stood behind them. The Hall of Patriarchs was silent. Everyone looked at Lu Renhuang and Lu Li with gloomy expressions. Chapter 801. Lu Jingtan's seat was that of the Lu family patriarch. Lu Renhuang made it clear as soon as he came in, implying that Lu Zhangtan was not qualified to be the family patriarch. In the hall sat 1 Earth Immortal Realm warrior and 8 or 9 human Sovereign Realm warriors, patriarchs of the internal clan and the external clan. There were also some deacons at the peak of the Noble Lord Realm, all loyal to Lu Zhangtan. They all knew that Lu Renhuang would not let them go, so they decided to team up and fight till the end. Of course, nobody was in the mood to make a move. Lu Renhuang alone could defeat the entire Lu family, not to mention the fact that Lu Li had 13 Earth Immortal Realm warriors with him. With a 9th rank mystic armor, nobody could defeat him. Lu Zhangtan didn't stand up. Looking at Lu Renhuang calmly, he said, "Renhuang, when you ran away in a fit of anger, your father went to the southern land of voodoo and was poisoned. The family was without a leader and was in chaos. If I didn't stand up, the Lu family would have fallen apart. You said that I don't deserve to be the family patriarch. Do you? Where were you when the family was at its most critical moment?" Lu Renhuang sneered. He shook his head and sighed. "It was my fault that I ran away in a fit of anger. But I have been at the northern desert for so many years. You really don't know? Who was it that was hunting me? Who was the one that killed my wife? Also, why did my father go to the northern desert to look for me? Why did he go to the southern land of voodoo? Do you dare to say that you didn't give false information? When the family was at its most critical moment, who caused it? Lu Zhangtan, you didn't do some things. But do you have the guts to say that you don't know?" Also, Lu Renhuang paused for a moment. Looking at Lu Fenghua, Lu Yintian, Lu Xuan, and Lu Ni, he sneered, "My son came back to the family from far away. How did you treat him? My sister has been bullied for so many years. Have you ever done anything to her? Father has been poisoned for so many years. Have you ever thought about detoxifying him? Is the family patriarch really so tempting? My son will fight for power in the Lu family, but he is still famous at the Great Land." Lu Renhuang's voice was loud and deafening. His powerful energy suffocated Lu Xuan, Lu and I, and the other young disciples. His words made many people blush with shame. Lu Jingtan's face turned pale. He wanted to retort, but didn't say anything in the end. Lu Tiandi remained silent with a gloomy face. Lu Fenghua stood up and said, "Human sovereign, we might have done something wrong. However, after fifth great-grandfather persuaded us, we all came to our senses and retreated from Samsara City immediately. We are doing this because our nephew, Lu Li, has forced us into a corner. At the demon-slaying battleground, Lu Li imprisoned and tortured Lu Xuan and Lu and I for a month. The Lu family has been humiliated. What do you want us to do?" Ha ha ha. Before Lu Fenghua could finish his words, Lu Li couldn't help but laugh out loud. Lu Li was about to interrupt Lu Fenghua. Lu Li stepped forward and said, "Lu Fenghua, why did I imprison Lu Xuan and Lu and I? Let them come out and tell me themselves. If it is my fault, we will turn around and leave. If it is Lu Xuan and Lu Ni's fault, then don't blame me for being cruel." Killing intent surged out from Lu Li. It would have been better if Lu Fenghua didn't mention this. But Lu Fenghua dared to bring this up and tried to distort the truth. Did he think Lu Li was a clay bodhisattva with no temper? What is there to say? Lu Xuan answered coldly, "Winner takes all. Kill me or cut me up, do as you please." There is indeed nothing to say. Lu Ling spoke for the first time since she came in. She looked at her father and said, "Father, kill them all. Just give the order and we will do it." Lu Ling had always been cold-blooded and merciless to her enemies. Lu Zhangtan, Lu Fenghua, Lu Xuan, and Lu An'ai had plotted against Lu Li many times. They even worked together to invade the northern desert, the Clouds Plains, and the Serenity Plains. For her, there was no such thing as blood relatives. Since she was going against them, she must be prepared to be killed. As soon as Lu Ling finished her words, the hall was filled with killing intent. The 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors that Lu Li brought in all unsheathed their weapons, ready to kill at any moment. Lu Tiandi, Lu Fenghua, and the others took out their weapons. Clearly, they were ready to fight to the death. It was pointless to say anything now. Patriarch 8 came in as well. Seeing that a fight was about to break out, he pulled a long face. He wanted to say something, but his words carried little weight. Lu Renwang and Lu Li would not listen. Patriarch 8 turned to Great-Grandfather 5. Great-Grandfather 5 was the only one who could stop the fight. Great-Grandfather 5 sighed slightly, but didn't say anything. He walked out. Clearly, he was not going to get involved in the fight between the two families. The rise of Lu Renwang and Lu Li would be the rise of the Lu family. As long as the Lu family could rise, Lu Renhuang and Lu Li could do whatever they wanted. Seeing that even Great-Grandfather 5 had left, Lu Zhengtan knew that there was no turning back. The wrinkles on his face twitched a little. He sighed and said, "Human sovereign, this is all because of me. Let them leave, and I will apologize for my mistake alone. How about it?" "Father, family master, Grandpa," Lu Tiandi and the others shouted in sorrow. Lu Jingtan's intention was clear. He would commit suicide to apologize and take responsibility for everything. Lu Tiandi, Lu Fenghua, and Lu Xuan would leave the Lu family. That would be the end of the matter. Lu Ling sneered and said, "Lu Zhangtan, I don't think you can do it all by yourself." Hundreds of millions of people from the Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, Northern Desert, and the deserted world have died. Lu family must have killed tens of millions. You want to take responsibility by yourself? Lu Jingtan and the others were taken aback. Lu Ling was going to wipe them all out. Lu Renhuang raised his eyebrows when he heard Lu Ling's words, but he said nothing after she finished her words. Lu Jingtan and the others had to pay for the death of hundreds of millions, even though they were his uncles and cousins. Lu Li said nothing. He was waiting for Lu Renhuang's order. Lu Renhuang, on the other hand, was struggling. Lu Li and Lu Li had no attachment to the Lu family. But Lu Renhuang was born here after all. Killing his own people would not be a good thing. He, Lu Li and Lu Ling would have to bear a bad reputation for the rest of their lives. Whoosh! Right at that moment, there came a noise from outside. Then, the Earth Immortal Realm warrior Lu Li left behind shouted, "Stop, or we will kill you." Lu Li and the others checked with psychic power. Patriarch 8 was overjoyed to see who it was. Lu Zhongtan, Lu Fenghua, and the others were relieved as well. Lu Li did not recognize the man, but he vaguely remembered him once. He seemed to be one of the patriarchs of the demon-slaying hall. Lu Renhuang clearly knew this man. He said to Lu Li, "That is your great-grandfather 3. Let him in." Great-grandfather 3? Lu Li was surprised. Great-grandfather 3 was older than Lu Zhongtan, of the same generation as great-grandfather 5. Lu Li waved his hand. An Earth Immortal Realm warrior came out from behind him. The others outside let Lu Li through. An old man with white eyebrows came in. The old man landed at the Hall of Patriarchs. Great-grandfather 5 went to greet him and said, "Brother 3. Lu Renhuang led Lu Li out, followed by Lu Zhongtan. Lu Renhuang cupped his fists and said, "Greetings, Grandpa 3. Uncle 3. Lu Zhongtan bowed. His frown was eased. Great-grandfather 3 must have come back at a time like this to deal with the dispute at the Lu family under the order of Patriarch of Law Enforcement. There were several surviving warriors of the Lu family at the demon-slaying hall. The most powerful and prestigious one was Patriarch of Law Enforcement, followed by this great-grandfather 3. Since great-grandfather 3 was back, his words carried enormous weight. Lu Renhuang would not dare to say anything. Chapter 802. Great-grandfather 3 was a man of character. He made it clear whether they would listen to his mediation or leave at once. Lu Jingtan and the others could not ask for more. They bowed to great-grandfather 3. Lu Renhuang said nothing. He turned to Lu Li and Lu Ling. After all, what he had done was not a big deal. His son and daughter had been wronged. He had come back to seek justice for them. Lu Ling valued filial piety. She nodded to Lu Renhuang, implying that he would make the decision. Lu Li nodded as well. He could not put Lu Renhuang in a difficult position. Lu Renhuang bowed and said, "Of course, I will listen to you. Please, Grandpa 3. Great-grandfather 3 was not only representing himself, but also Patriarch of Law Enforcement, the biggest support of the Lu family and Lu Renhuang's grandpa. Even though Lu Renhuang was furious, he could not disobey Patriarch of Law Enforcement and start killing right away. Great-grandfather 3 nodded. He looked around again and said, "Patriarch of Law Enforcement, I have learned everything about the Lu family, including Xinjiang, human sovereign realm warriors of the northern desert, the feud between Lu Li and Lu Xuan, and what happened recently." A glint of coldness rose in great-grandfather 3's eyes. He said coldly, "Fighting with your own family is a serious crime. Zhongtan, you are mainly responsible for this. It is your fault that led to today's situation. Do you admit your guilt?" Lu Zhongtan bit his teeth, lowered his head, and said, "I am wrong. It's good that you know your mistake." Great-grandfather 3 nodded and said, "Patriarch of Law Enforcement wants you and Lu Tiandi to go to the demon-slaying grounds, reconstruct your soul, and join the Hall of Warfare. You can use your broken body to fight against the alien races to atone for your sins. Are you willing?" Both Lu Zhongtan and Lu Tiandi were taken aback. Going to the demon-slaying hall was not a big deal. But to reconstruct one's soul would be equivalent to dying once. They would lose their memories. Also, joining the Hall of Warfare was a risky endeavor. The 4 alien races were at the border, and the Asmodean Master was reaching the Asmodean Lord Realm. Once they encountered the 4 alien races, death was inevitable. Lu Tiandi turned to Lu Zhongtan, who asked, "Great-grandfather 3, it is okay for us to go to the demon-slaying grounds. But what about Lu Xuan and Lu and I? Don't worry about them. Will you listen to me or not?" Great-grandfather 3 roared, his body full of anger. Great-grandfather 3's soul had been reconstructed for many years, so he didn't have much affection for Lu Zhongtan and the others. Seeing that Lu Zhongtan didn't know when to back off, he was naturally annoyed. "All right." Lu Zhongtan forced a smile and said, "Let's go to the demon-slaying grounds." "All right." Great-grandfather 3 turned to Lu Fenghua, Lu Swan, and the others and shouted, "Patriarch of law enforcement said that you are all guilty and should be executed according to the Lu family rules. But now, the 4 alien races are here. It is not a good time to kill. Therefore, he suggested exiling you to the Omen Island for 10 years. If you can survive, go to the demon-slaying battleground to atone for your crimes. Furthermore, from today onwards, all of you will be banished from the Lu clan. You will no longer be disciples of the Lu clan. Do you accept this?" Wow. Exiled to the Omen Island for 10 years was not enough. After coming out alive, they had to go to the demon-slaying battleground immediately. Most importantly, all of them would be banished from the Lu clan. They wouldn't have the right to enter the Lu clan's heroic soul hall after they died, and they wouldn't be able to receive the worship of their descendants. This was undoubtedly very cruel to them. Many of them felt that it was even worse than killing them right now. Lu Li and the others showed no emotion. This was a fair punishment. If this was not the case, they wouldn't let it go. Patriarch of law enforcement was indirectly saving their lives. Of course, whether they could survive would depend on their abilities and luck. Lu Ling pouted. Lu Ling curled her lips. She was not happy. In her mind, she would kill every single one of them. Exiling to the Omen Island and the demon-slaying battleground would mean death for many, but there would be some that could escape. "What are you arguing about?" Great-grandfather 3 shouted angrily. "If you don't accept this, you can leave the city of Mystic Armor now. Patriarch of law enforcement, and I will not meddle in what happens next." They shut up at once. Seeing that many were still not convinced, Lu Li said with a smile, "How about this? Anyone who is not convinced can leave now. I promise that I will not hunt you down for 10 days. You will be lucky if you can escape. What do you say?" Swish, 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 they were frightened. 10 days was enough for them to go far. But the Great Land was a vast place. If Lu Li really wanted to hunt them down, where could they go? Unless they could find a small world, close the passageway, and die there of old age. Lu Fenghua and Lu Lianqian pouted. They were about to say something when Lu Swan made up his mind, cupped his fists, and said, "We will follow the orders of Patriarch of law enforcement. We are willing to go to the Omen Island." The tables had turned. Previously, Lu Li was exiled to the Omen Island. Now, it was Lu Fenghua and Lu Swan's turn. Although everyone was extremely unwilling, they could only forcefully suppress it. Otherwise, what awaited them would be merciless slaughter. Seeing that no one had any objections, Great-grandfather 3 turned to Lu Renhuang and the others and asked, "Renhuang, do you have any objections?" Lu Renhuang was satisfied. After all, he couldn't bring himself to kill his own people. He turned to Lu Ling. She had objections, but she didn't dare to disobey Lu Renhuang. However, when Lu Renhuang turned to Lu Li said, "I have objections." "What?" They all turned to Lu Li. He was not an average warrior. If he wanted to kill everyone, not even Lu Renhuang or Patriarch of law enforcement could stop him. Lu Li turned to Lu Swan and said, "This man cannot go to the Omen Island. I suggest we reconstruct his soul and send him to the demon-slaying battleground. This man is too vicious. If you don't agree, I will have to kill him myself." Lu Li had the wicked bead and a group of Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Lu Jingtan and the others were not afraid. In the future, if Lu Li dared to plot against them or harbor any evil thoughts, he could kill him at any time. Lu Swan was different. Lu Swan was vicious and scheming. Comparable to Lu Ling, Lu Li didn't want to have a viper lurking outside and staring at him all the time. After his soul was reconstructed, Lu Swan would essentially die once. He would forget about the past. What was more, if he joined the Hall of Warfare to fight against the 4 alien races, he would most likely lose his life. Lu Fenghua loved his son Lu Swan the most. He believed that Lu Swan was the future of the Lu family. Lu Fenghua's expressions became ferocious. He stared at Lu Li like a hungry wolf and said, "Lu Li, don't push it too far. Do you have to kill us all?" "Ha ha ha." Lu Li sneered and said, "Which one of you can stop me if I want to kill you all? Even if Deputy Master is here, I can kill you like dogs." If it were not for my father, all of you would have to die. So, do you agree or not? If not, then let's fight." Great-grandfather 3 said nothing. He didn't blame Lu Li for his disobedience and rudeness because Lu Li had the right to do so. If Lu Li did not agree, then what would be the point even if Great-grandfather 3 helped Lu Zhongtan? Lu Zhongtan was upset. Lu Tianyi was filled with killing intent. Lu Finghua, Lu Yintian, and the others were aggrieved. They were trembling with anger. But they had to admit that Lu Li was confident. Even if Patriarch of Law Enforcement and Deputy Master were here, nobody could stop Lu Li if he wanted to kill someone. Chapter 803. Since the Patriarch of Law Enforcement sent Great-grandfather 3 to intervene, the matter of the Lu family became less bloody. Lu Li and Lu Ling's original plan was to kill at least a group of people, including Lu Zhongtan, Lu Finghua, and Lu Xuan. That being said, to have his soul reconstructed at the demon-slaying hall and then join the Hall of Warfare in the demon-slaying battleground was no different from death. Even if he was lucky enough to survive, he would have lost his memories and become a completely different person. The law enforcement elder was the Lu clan's previous leader and the Lu clan's biggest backer. No one dared to disobey his orders. More importantly, Lu Renhuang didn't want to fight against his own brothers. Lu Li and Lu Ling respected Lu Renhuang, so they didn't do anything rash. Growing up, Lu Ling and Lu Li would be lying if they said they didn't hate Lu Renhuang. That being said, Lu Renhuang stayed in the ice abyss for more than a decade to save his mother, and he showed up at the most critical moment. The grudge between the two vanished. Lu Zhongtan, Lu Tiandi, and Lu Xuan were taken to the demon-slaying hall by Great-grandfather 3. Great-grandfather 5 imprisoned Lu Finghua and the others in person and sent them to the Omen Island to be exiled for 10 years. Not only Lu Finghua and the others, but also the master of the Palace of Gods, the patriarchs and deacons of the external clan of the family, as long as they were on Lu Zhongtan's side and participated in the invasion of the Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, and Northern Desert, they would all be arrested and exiled to the Omen Island after a trial. There were at least tens of thousands of people in the Lu family who had been captured. Great-grandfather 5 wanted to say something, but Lu Renhuang did not relent. After all, since they dared to go to the Clouds Plains, the Serenity Plains, and the Northern Desert, they were determined to go against Lu Li and Lu Ling and kill them. Leaving these people alive would be a disaster. Who knows, they might stab you in the back. Many people were unwilling to be exiled to Heavenly Devil Island. That was a dangerous place, and going there was no difference from death. Therefore, there was some small-scale resistance and battles in the city, and some people even fled. Needless to say, they were all killed by Lu Li's soul slaves. The air above the mystic armor city was filled with the smell of blood. Lu Li and the others didn't get involved in such a small matter. The main culprit had been taken care of, so it wasn't worth their attention. They arrived at the Blood Pool Hall. Lu Zhengyang was still frozen in there. Since Lu Renhuang had the antidote, he had to save Lu Zhengyang as soon as possible. The ice room was opened, and there was a thick layer of ice inside. An old man was frozen inside. Lu Li and Lu Ling checked with psychic power. Lu Zhengyang was still alive. Just like autumn snow back then, although her life signs were very weak, at least she was still alive. Lu Zhongtan did not kill Lu Zhengyang out of his mind. Otherwise, even if Patriarch of Law Enforcement were to come in person, Lu Li would kill Lu Zhongtan and the others. Great-grandfather 5 was there as well, along with some healers of the Lu family. They were relieved after a round of examination. Lu Renhuang took out the antidote and handed it to Great-grandfather 5. Grandpa 5, I will leave it to you. Great-grandfather 5 was a powerful warrior in the soul. The most difficult part of Lu Zhengyang's poison was the one in the soul, not the one in the body. Therefore, Great-grandfather 5 had to do it himself. Great-grandfather 5 did not refuse. He waved his hand. Two healers slowly released Xian energy to melt the ice bit by bit. After the time for half an incense stick to burn, They carried Lu Zhengtan out and put him on a bed. The healers began to work. First, they had to help Lu Zhengyang recover. Lu Zhengyang's body had been frozen for years. Many of his bodily functions had been destroyed. If they were to try to detoxify him now, even if they could, his body would not be able to take it and he would die soon. The Lu family had countless elixirs. Lu Li and Lu Ling had countless rare elixirs in their interspatial rings. The healers worked for an hour. Lu Zhengyang had recovered some energy. Great-grandfather 5 began to detoxify Lu Zhengyang. After he was fed the antidote, Great-grandfather 5 used his soul energy to detoxify the poison in Lu Zhengyang's soul. When the poison in Lu Zhengyang's soul was detoxified, the poison in Lu Zhengyang's body would be easy to detoxify. Everyone held their breaths. They dared not to use psychic power for fear that they might disturb Great-grandfather 5. They had to wait quietly. Great-grandfather 5 put one hand on Lu Zhengyang's head. Energy of soul slowly flowed into Lu Zhengyang's soul pond. Great-grandfather 5 closed his eyes. Sweat trickled down from his forehead. Lu Zhengyang's soul was weak. One wrong move and his soul would collapse. Therefore, Great-grandfather 5 could not afford to make any mistakes. No one dared to make a sound. There were 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors guarding outside. Anyone that dared to disturb them would be killed. Time ticked by. After more than 10 hours, Great-grandfather 5 finally opened his eyes. His face was full of exhaustion, but he put on a smile. Looking at Lu Renwang, Lu Li, and Lu Feishue, he said, "Okay, the poison in my soul is gone. I don't have to worry about the poison in my body anymore." The healers went to check. Soon, an old warrior nodded and said, "It's okay. We will take care of the rest. Great Patriarch, go and have some rest. We will cure the family patriarch's poison." Lu Renwang, Lu Li, Lu Ling, and Lu Feishue were relieved. Lu Renwang sent someone to help Great-grandfather 5 leave. But he didn't leave right away. He stayed here. Lu Li and the others didn't leave either. The healers busied themselves with detoxifying Lu Zhengyang's body. They worked from afternoon to midnight. Finally, the healers wiped off the sweat on their foreheads and said, "Future family patriarch, we have accomplished our mission." "Good." Lu Renwang used psychic power to check. He nodded and said, "Thank you. Go and have some rest. We will keep watch." Patriarch 8 said to Lu Renwang, "Renwang, you go and have some rest as well. I will stay here." Lu Renwang shook his head. He was not tired. He did not trust others to take care of him. He wanted to see Lu Zhengyang wake up in person. When he was young, Lu Renwang was talented. He looked down on other heroes in the world and was unruly. Not even Lu Zhengyang could control him. Because Lu Zhengyang wanted to arrange a marriage for Lu Renwang, Lu Renwang left in a fit of pique. Lu Zhengyang was enraged. He ordered that nobody in the family was allowed to go to Lu Renwang. He told Lu Renwang to run his own course. That being said, Lu Renwang was Lu Zhengyang's son. Later on, Lu Renwang heard that Lu Renwang went to the southern land. Lu Zhengyang went to look for Lu Renwang on his own. Little did he know that he was besieged by powerful warriors of the voodoo race. Lu Renwang came back with serious injuries. Lu Renwang felt guilty about this. At his age, he knew what it meant to be a parent. Therefore, after he left the ice abyss, he found out about Lu Zhengyang and killed his way to the voodoo land of the south to get the antidote. Lu Li and Lu Ling had mixed feelings as they looked at Lu Zhengyang, who was sleeping quietly on the bed, and Lu Renwang, who was sitting on the side with his legs crossed, full of guilt and self-blame. If Lu Renwang hadn't run away in a fit of pique, he wouldn't have met their mother, and they wouldn't be alive. Therefore, there was no right or wrong, and no one was to blame except for fate. Lu Renwang and the other 3 stayed in the underground palace for 10 days. By Qiushua, Madame Yin, and Mingyu had settled down. The city of mystic armor was under the control of Lu Li's soul slaves. Patriarch 8 was in charge of the Lu family. Finally, Lu Zhengyang woke up after 11 days. His consciousness was not clear. He opened his eyes and was in a daze for a long time before he came back to his senses. Plop! Making sure that Lu Zhengyang was awake, Lu Renhuang knelt to the ground with Lu Feishua, Lu Ling, and Lu Li. Choking with sobs, Lu Renhuang said, Lu Renhuang, my unfilial son, my sister Lu Feishua, my son Lu Li, and my daughter Lu Ling, greet you, father. Chapter 804. Lu Li and the others stayed in the underground palace for 10 days. Something big happened outside. The demon-slaying hall issued an order of expedition. He stated that the 4 alien races were at the border and the demon-slaying hall was facing difficulties. He called on families of the Great Land to send powerful warriors to assist the demon-slaying hall to fight against the alien races. For the first time in more than 100,000 years, the demon-slaying hall issued an order of expedition. The last time was 150,000 years ago. At that time, all the experts of the divine Great Land were mobilized and successfully suppressed the 4 clans. Xing Mu died in battle, and the people of the demon-slaying hall were shaken. On top of that, the Samsara Palace was destroyed. The entire Great Land was in turmoil. After the order to go to war was issued, it caused panic among the entire human race. Of course, many families and powerful warriors responded to the call. The Palace of Immortals' Inquiries, the Red Lunar, the Great Buddhist Temple, the Tumulus of Universe, and the Palace of Heaven's Roars sent out notices at once. More than half of their powerful warriors and armies were sent to support the demon-slaying hall. Next, the Hades Society, the Ikshar race, the Life League, and the Pavilion of Blossoms responded at the same time. All their powerful warriors and over half of their armies entered the demon-slaying grounds. In addition to those royal families, many 6th and 7th rank families responded as well. Some reclusive, powerful warriors came out and entered the demon-slaying hall. Usually, the internal strife of the human race was fierce, but at critical times, they were very united. Everyone knew that when the nest was overturned, no egg could remain intact. The hatred between the Asmodeans, the voodoo race, the feather race, the barbarian race, and the human race could not be resolved. Once the demon-slaying city was breached, the Great Land would be conquered by the 4 alien races. By then, countless people would be torn apart, tortured to death, or enslaved. Lu Li and Lu Ling sneered coldly when they came out from the underground palace and learned the news. When Great-Grandfather 3 came, he did not mention that the demon-slaying city was in such a critical state. Deputy Master's intention of issuing this order was clear. He exaggerated the danger of the demon-slaying city on purpose to divert everyone's attention to the alien races. In this way, nobody would care about the destruction of the Samsara Palace, the relationship between him and Lu Li, and the fact that he could not do anything to Lu Li. At the same time, through the war against the 4 races, he could expand his influence and protect his authority. There was one more thing. Life League, Pavilion of Blossoms, Yikshar race, and Hades Society had sent a large number of powerful warriors and armies to the demon-slaying grounds, which indirectly protected the 4 forces. According to Lu Li and Lu Ling's plan, after the Lu family was dealt with, they would deal with the 4 forces. After all, hundreds of millions of people from the northern desert, the Clouds Plains, and the Serenity Plains had died. But powerful warriors and armies of the 4 forces had entered the demon-slaying hall. Could Lu Li and the others go to the 4 forces to kill some low-level warriors and civilians? In that case, not only would they have to face the criticism of the entire human race, but they would also have to become enemies with the entire human race. Massacring low-level warriors and civilians could not destroy the 4 great forces, nor could they take revenge. 2 birds with 1 stone. Lu Li sighed. This was a clever move by Deputy Master. He could not bring his warriors to the demon-slaying city to start a war. Even if he wanted to kill them, the law enforcement elder, Jiang Tianshun, and even the experts from the Great Buddhist Temple and the Tumulus of Universe would not agree to it, right? Lu Renhuang and Lu Xingyang would stop him as well. By then, he would be the enemy of the entire world. Forget it. Lu Ling shook her head and said, "Brother, let's leave it at that for now. Revenge is a dish best served cold. After the crisis of the four races is over, we will go back to the deserted world to develop. When we are strong enough, we will unite the divine prefecture and kill the deputy hallmaster. If they couldn't kill the second palace master, they couldn't unify the divine great land. For now, Luli did not have the ability to fight against semi-god realm warriors. He had to let it go. After all, given Lu Li's current abilities, nobody would dare to mess with him. There were many mystical materials in the Inferno. They could train more powerful warriors. In the Inferno, the speed of learning profound meanings would be much faster. The growth of powerful warriors was fast. Lu Renhuang was at the later stage of the Earth Immortal Realm. He was only in his 40s. It shouldn't be too difficult for him to reach the semi-god realm. Once he did, it would be a piece of cake for him to defeat the Deputy Master. By then, the entire Great Land would have to be at the mercy of the Father and Son. To kill the Deputy Master and wipe out the four forces would be a piece of cake. Lu Zhengyang had regained consciousness, but would take some time for him to recover completely. Lu Li and Lu Ling planned to stay in the city of Mystic Armor for half a month and then go back to the deserted world. As for staying in the city of Mystic Armor, Lu Li and Lu Ling had no such plan. For them, the Northern Desert, Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, Deserted World, and Inferno were their territories, their home. The city of Mystic Armor was run by their grandfather and father. That being said, neither of them had a sense of belonging. Lu Li, in particular, had completely lost faith in the city of Mystic Armor. Of course, the Inferno was a land of treasures, which attracted the two of them as well. In addition, there were countless mystical materials in the Prison of Wood, Prison of Earth, and Prison of Water. Lu Li could not wait to go back and send someone to collect them. Lu Renhuang was still taking care of Lu Xingyang. Lu Li and Lu Ling talked for a while. After they set the general tone, Lu Ling finally had the time to ask about Lu Li's life over the years. Lu Li told Lu Ling everything without holding back. He had no secrets from her. Lu Ling exclaimed. She didn't know that the Inferno was only the lowest level of the purgatory of primordial chaos. There were 9 more levels. She didn't know that there were so many universes outside the Heaven Reverse universe. According to Lu Li, around the purgatory of primordial chaos, there were many universes of different sizes. The 9 universes were filled with powerful warriors and Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Relic. Lu Ling was delighted and then worried. She thought about it and said, "Brother, will the warriors of the 9 universes give up fighting for the relic? What if they use their skills to break down barriers between universes and come to the Heaven Reverse universe?" Lu Ling learned from ancient records that in ancient times, powerful warriors from alien universes once came to the Heaven Reverse universe. What was more, Emperor of Heaven Reverse was actually from the Central Imperial universe. Therefore, it was not impossible for powerful warriors from other universes to come to the Heaven Reverse universe. Once the warriors of the 9 universes came to the Heaven Reverse universe, they could threaten Lu Li with the lives of all civilians in the Heaven Reverse universe and Lu Li's family and friends to force Lu Li to hand over the wicked bead. Would Lu Li do it or not? Lu Li's heart skipped a beat. What Lu Ling said could happen. He thought about it and asked, how about relocating all disciples of the Lu family and the Jiang family to the Inferno? In the Inferno, Earth Immortal Realm warriors and Semi-God Realm warriors could not come down. The Inferno was absolutely safe. What was more, learning profound meanings in the Inferno was fast. Lu family and Jiang family could develop fast there. There is no point in telling me this. Lu Ling shook her head with a bitter smile. I don't think my father and grandpa will agree if you tell them. The same goes for the Jiang family. The Lu family has been operating around the region of Mystic Armor for so many years. How can they just give up? Then let's talk to grandpa after he recovers. Lu Li nodded. His grandpa, Lu Zhengyang, had recovered. Naturally, Lu Li would be the one in charge of the Lu family. Lu family matters must be approved by Lu Zhengyang. Mage Imperial Universe, Earth Imperial Universe, Divine Imperial Universe, Luli murmured. His face was clouded. He was in need of time. His realm was too low. Chapter 805. After talking with Lu Ling for a while, Luli walked out of the yard and into another yard. There were two women living in this courtyard. At this moment, the two women were sitting in the side hall. One of them was chattering nonstop while the other was sitting quietly with a beautiful smile on her face like a blooming lily. Luli was enchanted by the smile on by Qiushue's face when he walked in. He had seen her many times in the Wicked Bead, but he had never been alone with her. Lu Renhuang and many others were here. No matter how thick-skinned Luli was, Bai Qiushue would not be able to get close. Seeing Luli come in, Bai Xiaoshuang stood up in delight. She smiled sweetly and said, Luli, you're here. How is your grandpa? The antidote is gone. He will recover in a while. Luli nodded with a smile. He and Bai Qiushue looked at each other. They exchanged looks in silence, expressing their love for each other. Sitting down, Luli asked, Shuang, are you used to living here? Is it boring? Do you want me to ask Sister Hong Yu to show you around the city? No, Bai Xiaoshuang said with contempt. There is nothing to see in the city. It is not safe to leave the city. I don't want to go if I have a bunch of people following me around. Luli was troubled by Bai Xiaoshuang's insensitivity. He asked, Where's my wife? Xiaoshuang, go and get her here. Tell her that I need her help. My aunt is in the yard over there. Bai Xiaoshuang was an innocent girl. She ran out just like that. After Bai Xiaoshuang left, Luli reached out to Bai Qiushue at once. She shook her head and refused to come over, blushing. Luli could not stand it anymore. He walked over, picked her up, and put her on his knees. Looking at her blushing face, he said affectionately, Qiushue, all these years you have suffered. Not at all. Bai Qiushue worked up the courage to look up at Luli and said, Darling, you have suffered more than I have. As long as you can be happy and healthy, I will not regret even if I die. Before she could finish her words, Luli had kissed her on her cherry lips. Luli kissed her like crazy. He poured all the love and longing he had for Bai Qiushue over the years into this passionate kiss. Bai Qiushue was moved as well. She let Luli do whatever he wanted and put her arms around his neck. Both of them were immersed in silence. Dry wood and raging fire collided, and it was out of control. After an unknown period of time, Bai Xiaoshuang's exclamation suddenly came from outside. Bai Xiaoshuang murmured again, which scared Luli and Bai Qiushue. Bai Xiaoshuang said, What is going on? Auntie, I feel someone is touching me. Oh no, I am going to die. I am possessed again. Whoosh, Bai Qiushue bounced up at once. Her robe had been untied by Luli. She had no time to worry about that now. She dashed into the room like a frightened rabbit. Damn it, Luli didn't have a place to vent his anger now that he was interrupted. He had thought that if Bai Xiaoshuang went to Madame Yin would understand and ask Bai Xiaoshuang to stay. That way, he could have some alone time with Bai Qiushue. Little did he know that Madame Yin really came with Bai Xiaoshuang. He tidied up his clothes angrily. When Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshuang came in, he glared at Madame Yin. Instead of being angry, Madame Yin looked at Luli with a smile, bowed and said, Greetings, Your Majesty. What is it that you want to see me for? I'm going to send you to wipe out the Hades society on your own, Luli said angrily. Then he waved his sleeve and left. Madame Yin giggled. Bai Xiaoshuang, on the other hand, was frightened. She shouted, Luli, are you out of your mind? Are you trying to get me killed? Luli had nowhere to vent his anger. He walked out of Bai Qiushue's yard and went to Jiang Qiling's yard. Jiang Qiling and Lu Hongyu were chatting. They had known each other since the small demon-slaying battleground. Since Luli had something to attend to, Lu Hongyu came to keep him company. Lu Hongyu was sensible enough. She looked at Luli with a smile and left. Jiang Qiling was not as shy as Bai Qiushue. She threw herself into Luli's arms, stared at him, and said, You are so cruel. You left me alone for 10 days. I am sorry. Luli patted Jiang Qiling's hair with guilt and sighed. Grandpa is detoxifying, and I cannot leave. Today, things have stabilized. That is why I am here as soon as I can. Really? Jiang Qiling blinked her eyes. Lu Li smiled in embarrassment. Jiang Qiling wasn't angry. She said with a grin, Sister Qiushua almost died because of you. She has been frozen for years. It is normal that you want to see her first. She doesn't blame you. Lu Li smiled, pleased. Jiang Qiling liked to fool around, but she was not ignorant of the ways of the world. She was sensible when it mattered. Lu Li liked her demeanor. Jiang Qiling suddenly closed her eyes, looked up at Lu Li, and said, Darling, I want you. Kiss me. Jiang Qiling asked for a kiss. Lu Li couldn't stand it anymore. He carried her into the room. It was only the afternoon, but Lu Li couldn't worry about anything else. After a few rounds of lovemaking, all kinds of entanglement, they sat on the bed in each other's arms. Lu Li suddenly thought of something. He exclaimed with a smile, I think all the men of the great land are jealous of me. I have slept with the family patriarch of the Jiang family. Ah, Jiang Qiling smiled sweetly. She stared at Lu Li and said, Lu Li, how about you marry into the Jiang family? Then you can sleep with the family patriarch every day. Ha ha ha. Lu Li laughed. He patted Jiang Qiling's plump bottom and said, Vixen, you wish. But if we have 2 sons, I can let one of them follow your surname. Jiang Hua only had 1 daughter, and Jiang Qiling was still the family patriarch. According to the rules of the Jiang family, a female family patriarch could not marry out of the family. Naturally, Lu Li would not marry into the Jiang family. He had to make a compromise and let one of the children take over the Jiang family. Really, Jiang Qiling's eyes glowed. Becoming the family patriarch had been bothering her for a long time. She was happy that Lu Li had taken the initiative to help her. She climbed onto Lu Li's waist and looked at him flirtatiously like a cat in heat. She said with a smile, Then what are we waiting for? Let's work hard and try to get pregnant this time. It was getting dark. There was only an hour left before the banquet. To celebrate Lu Xingyang's recovery, Patriarch 8 planned to hold a banquet. At the same time, he wanted to comfort the Lu family disciples. Therefore, tempting as Jiang Qiling was, Lu Li still patted her bottom with a bitter smile and said, Bitch, let's wait until tonight. I will beat you up and you'll be defeated. Jiang Qiling put on a provocative smile. She squinted her foxy eyes and giggled. Ha, ha ha, how dare you challenge me? I am an Earth Immortal Realm Warrior, a Land Immortal. You are just a noble Lord Realm Warrior. I could defeat you easily. Lu Li was enraged. A man's dignity could not be challenged. He didn't care if it was a banquet or not. He picked up his spear and began to conquer. Chapter 806. There was nothing special about the banquet. It was just a gathering of some neutral patriarchs of the Lu family and some family patriarchs affiliated to the Lu family. For one thing, it was to celebrate Lu Xingyang's recovery. For another, it was to calm people down. All the family patriarchs of families above the 5th rank in the territory of the Lu family were here. The hall was filled with hundreds of people. Lu Li and Jiang Qiling made love for 2 hours. They didn't show up until the banquet began. Of course, no one cared about Lu Li's tardiness. Instead, they thought he had to put on airs. Lu Renhuang and Lu Ling hadn't shown up yet. As soon as Lu Li came out, he was surrounded by people. All kinds of flattery came out, and many people toasted him. Lu Li was not only the most powerful young master of the Lu family, but also a super powerful warrior and one of the backers of the Lu family. The fact that Lu Li had 3 Earth Immortal Realm Warriors with him scared the hell out of the human Sovereign Realm Warriors. Lu Li was calm. He wasn't very enthusiastic, but he didn't push people away either. When someone offered him a toast, he took a sip. When someone flattered him, he just nodded with a smile. After a round of drinks, Lu Renhuang came out with Lu Ling and Lu Feishue. The hall was bustling again. Lu Renhuang had become more reserved. He was not as arrogant and unruly as he was when he was the future family patriarch of the Lu family. When someone offered him a toast, he would drink it up, smile from ear to ear, and say some words of comfort and encouragement from time to time. This time, More than half of the Lu clan's powerhouses were imprisoned. Although they hadn't been sent to the demonic island yet, the outcome couldn't be changed. The Lu clan's powerhouses were greatly reduced. A few years ago, when Lu Zhongtan was the family patriarch, those people already had a conscience to remain neutral. Therefore, Lu Renhuang's attitude was good, and he had won over many people. Lu Ling and Lu Feishua sat quietly. Lu Ling was indifferent. She only took a sip of tea when someone offered her a toast. She showed no respect. In the past, she had more than a dozen Renhuangs under her command. As the ruler of the Yunwu Empire, she was naturally not too enthusiastic about these people. It was already a great honor for Lu Renhuang to be here. After a few rounds of drinks, someone suggested putting Lu Li, Lu Ling, and Lu Feishua back into the family tree. Lu Li didn't mind, and Lu Renhuang agreed. After all, the blood of the Lu clan flowed in his veins, and the current Lu clan was no longer the Lu clan of the past. Miss Ling, you've reached the marriageable age, right? A patriarch of the Palace of Blue Lions looked at Lu Ling with a smile and suggested, "Future family patriarch, it is time to find a marriage for Lady Ling. I am willing to propose marriage to Miss Ling on behalf of our young chief." Our young chief has just turned 30 this year, and he is also in the Renhuang plane. His talent is definitely inferior to Lady Ling's, but his character is superior. If he can marry Lady Ling, the entire Blue Lion residence will definitely feel honored. Before the patriarch of the Palace of Blue Lions could finish his words, Lu Li pulled a long face. A glint of coldness appeared in Lu Ling's eyes, but Lu Renhuang remained calm. "Oomph." Lu Li snorted and interrupted the patriarch of the Palace of Blue Lions. The patriarch looked at Lu Li's expression and smiled in embarrassment. He didn't dare to go on. Lu Renhuang threw Lu Li a glance. Even though he didn't blame Lu Li didn't want to lose his temper. Lu Feishua had not said anything since she came in. When she heard what the elder of the mansion of Blue Lions said, she became excited. She said, "Brother, Ling is of age. It's time to find a husband for her." Lu Li was 23 and Lu Ling was 4 years older than Lu Li. She was 27. Young ladies of other families would be old by now. But Lu Ling was special. She had been ruling the northern desert, the Clouds Plains, the Serenity Plains, and the deserted world all by herself. She didn't have time for love. Also, Lu Ling was at the human sovereign realm. She could live for thousands of years. Compared to that, she was only in her 20s. She didn't look old at all. She was still as pretty as a young girl. Of course, more importantly, there were billions of people of the Great Land. Which young master could catch Lu Ling's eye? 6th or 7th rank families might be fine, but most of the 12 royal families held grudges against Lu Ling. She couldn't go to the great Buddhist temple to pick a monk. Apart from the great Buddhist temple, the only family that was on good terms with Lu Li was the Tumulus of Universe. Yi Luo, the son of the Tumulus of Universe family, had always been in love with Lu Hongyu. Last year, he went to propose marriage. Apart from Yi Luo, few young masters were worthy of Lu Ling. Lu Ling was at the human sovereign realm. She was of Fire Phoenix birth. She was gifted with a skill called Fire Phoenix Splitting Skies. She could teleport people. She also had Fire Phoenix flames that could burn Earth Immortal Realm warriors to death. She could defeat human sovereign realm warriors with such abilities. She could even kill Earth Immortal Realm warriors with a sneak attack. The scariest thing about her was her strategy and wisdom. She was beautiful and graceful. Lu Li thought about it and realized that there was no one at the Great Land that was worthy of her. Lu Li and Lu Ling depended on each other since they were young. She was Lu Li's everything. Lu Li loved Lu Ling deeply. Lu Li didn't know what to feel when someone proposed marriage to Lu Ling all of a sudden. He felt that something that belonged to him was being taken away. That was why he snorted and interrupted the patriarch of the Palace of Blue Lions. A future master of a 7th rank force wanted to marry Lu Ling? What a fool's dream. Lu Renhuang took a look at Lu Ling. He smiled gently and said, "Back then, when my father arranged a marriage for me, I was dissatisfied. In the end, I ran away in a fit of pique, which caused my father to be poisoned. Indirectly, I led to the disaster of the Liu family. So, I will not interfere with Ling and Liu's marriage. If your young masters and young ladies think they are outstanding, they can pursue them. Ha ha ha. Lu Li and Lu Ling were relieved to hear Lu Renhuang's words. If Lu Renhuang really arranged a marriage for Lu Ling, then neither of them knew what would happen next. Lu Renhuang and Lu Renhuang did not know what would happen next. Fortunately, Lu Renhuang was not inflexible. The young masters of the major families were itching to have a go. They looked at Lu Ling with passion. Lu Ling's abilities and forces aside, she was beautiful as well. It would be worthwhile to shorten one's life to have such a beauty. The future master of the Palace of Blue Lions, in particular, had reached the human sovereign realm. He was handsome and charming. Born in a major family, he had an extraordinary temperament. He believed that he was the only one in the entire eastern region who was worthy of Lu Ling. For a moment, he was in high spirits. Future family patriarch. A patriarch of the external clan of the Liu family suddenly stood up and looked at Liu Feishue. He bowed to Lu Renhuang and said, I have a son who is infatuated with love. He has been admiring Lady Feishue for a long time. He hasn't gotten married for years because of Lady Feishue. Lady Feishue, you should know my son. For the sake of my son, I have the courage to propose marriage to you, future family patriarch. I hope my son can marry Lady Feishue. Lu Li rolled his eyes. He was speechless. Had those old guys lost their minds? They were treating Lu Ling and Liu Feishue like goods. They wanted to reward them according to their contributions after the war was over. Were they going to divide up the women of the Liu family? Oh, Lu Renhuang was tempted. He had heard about what happened to Liu Feishue. He sympathized with his sister's tragic fate. Now that all the warriors of the Palace of Gods have been captured, if he could find a good marriage for Liu Feishue, it would soothe her wounded heart. Feishue, what do you think? Lu Renhuang decided to sound out Liu Feishue's mind. If possible, he would play matchmaker. Liu Feishue's expressions changed. She made up her mind, but said nothing. Young master, Mingyu, who was sitting behind Lu Li, suddenly stood up with a red face. Lu Li was surprised. He looked back and asked, Mingyu, what is it? Mingyu threw Liu Feishue a look. Suddenly, he dropped to one knee and said, Young master, Feishue and I are in love. We are in love. Please, young master. Chapter 807. Liu Feishue was his aunt, and Ming Yu was his loyal servant. Lu Li's first reaction was anger. Nominally, Liu Feishue was Ming Yu's master. How could a servant defy his superior and covet his master? But Lu Li only paused for a moment before his anger dissipated. Ming Yu had been with Lu Li for many years. Nominally, they were just servants, but they were like brothers and friends. What was more, this was not a one-sided proposal. He said that the two of them loved each other. If that was the case, Lu Li could accept it. Lu Li calmed down and looked at Liu Feishue. He knew what was going on when he saw her blushing. Mingyu, Lu Renhuang was angry. When he passed by the Thousand Island Lake, he saw that Mingyu was talented, so he gave him some mystical materials and gave him some pointers. Without Lu Renhuang's help, where would Mingyu be now? Now, he was coveting his own sister? Mingyu was smart. He didn't ask Lu Renhuang, but Lu Li. Of course, Lu Li's status was high, and he could make the decision. Otherwise, it would be pointless. Lu Li and Lu Ling looked at each other again. They had made up their minds. Lu Li looked at Lu Renhuang, stood up and waved his hand. Mingyu, you are so rude. What is this place? You have no right to talk. Leave, and we will talk later. Lu Li was scolding Mingyu on the surface, but his real intention was to protect Mingyu. If Lu Renhuang was angered, the marriage would be over. Mingyu understood what Lu Li meant. He got down on one knee and said, I know I am wrong. I will go back and reflect on it now. Mingyu walked out in strides. He appeared to be upset, but he was overjoyed. Lu Li seemed to be saying that this was a promising thing. He was a slave of the Liu family, and it was impossible for him to marry Liu Feishue and other families. But now, he saw hope. The patriarch of the external clan sighed to himself after hearing Lu Li's words. There was no hope. His son was destined to be single for the rest of his life. They had failed twice in a row. But the enthusiasm of this group of people did not diminish. Why? Therefore, Lu Renwang, Lu Li, and Lu Ling were not only the leaders of the Lu family, but also powerful warriors that could compete with the demon-slaying Hall. Lu Li and Lu Ling were so young, and Lu Renwang was only in his 40s. Given several decades, it was not impossible for the three of them to unify the land. If he were to marry into the Lu clan now, he would become a relative of the emperor in the future, and his clan would be glorious for 10,000 years. Borrowing the prestige of the Lu clan, he would rise rapidly and eventually become a superpower. Therefore, after a pause, a patriarch of the external clan stood up again and said, "Future family patriarch, I have a granddaughter. She is beautiful and virtuous. She has reached the noble lord realm. She has admired young Masterly for a long time. I wonder." F***CK. Luli pulled a long face. First, it was Lu Ling, then Lu Feishua. Now it was his turn. Would someone start to play matchmaker for Lu Renwang? Luli had just thought about it when an old man stood up and said, "Future family leader, I heard that young madam has unfortunately passed away. I have a granddaughter who is beautiful and has always admired you. Future family leader." Someone was going to be a matchmaker for Lu Renwang. Lu Li and Lu Ling looked awful. Lu Ling stood up and walked away from the corridor in the back without saying anything. Lu Li didn't want to waste any more time. He stood up and left with Lu Ling without looking at the patriarchs. Lu Feishua stood up in a hurry, leaving Lu Renwang in embarrassment. Lu Li and the others went to the back hall, where Mingyu was waiting. Lu Feishua blushed as soon as she went in. She glared at Mingyu angrily and then walked into another yard. It would be strange if there was nothing wrong with her shyness. "Young master." Mingyu was a bit nervous. He followed Lu Li and was about to kneel again. Lu Li threw him a glance and said, "Mingyu, it is useless to beg me. Since my aunt is fine with it, I will not say anything. But it will not be easy for my father. What is more, Grandpa will recover soon. You will have to rely on yourself." Mingyu pulled a long face. Lu Renwang already looked awful. Now, there was Lu Zhengyang as well. Lu Zhengyang was famous for his old-fashioned ways. Lu Feishua would be humiliated if he were to marry a family warrior of Lu Li. Plop, Mingyu dropped to his knees and begged, "Young master, you have to help me. If you don't, I will kneel in front of you until I die." Lu Li and Lu Ling looked at each other speechlessly. Lu Ling was expressionless. Clearly, she was not going to get involved. She valued filial piety, and she didn't want to put Lu Renwang in a difficult position. She knew Lu Li well. She knew that he would not stand by and do nothing. It didn't matter whether she said anything or not. Lu Li thought about it, while Mingyu stayed on his knees. After a while, they heard some footsteps. Lu Renwang came in. Seeing Mingyu on his knees, Lu Renwang snorted and said, "A man's knees are gold. What's the use of kneeling?" "Get up," Lu Li said. Mingyu stood up in embarrassment. Lu Li thought about it and said, "Father, since Mingyu and my aunt are in love, let's grant them their wish. My aunt has been suffering all these years. Mingyu has been with me for years, and he's a nice guy." Lu Renwang looked at Mingyu and said coldly, "It's not about me. Your grandpa is not easy to talk to. If your grandpa agrees, I will stay out of this." "Thank you, master." Mingyu was overjoyed. He wanted to kneel again, but he remembered what Lu Renwang said. He bowed in embarrassment. Lu Renwang waved his hand and said, "Leave now. Cultivate hard. If you can reach the Earth Immortal Realm, I will not stop you. Instead, I will make arrangements for you in person. In this world, power is everything. Don't you understand that?" "Yes." Mingyu left with respect. Lu Renwang sat on the main seat. Lu Ling poured him a cup of tea in person. Lu Renwang looked at Lu Ling with a smile. Then he remembered something and said, "Ling-er, you are not young anymore. Is there no young master that you like in this vast great land?" Lu Ling shook her head calmly and said, "Really no." Lu Renwang sighed and said nothing more. Lu Li remembered something that he had been wanting to ask Lu Renwang. He asked, "Father, what is the story of the animal tooth pendant that you gave me? Animal tooth pendant? Lu Ling was interested. It was because of the animal tooth that Lu Li awakened the silver dragon bloodline. Without it, Lu Li would have died a long time ago. That animal tooth pendant, Lu Renhuang was lost in his memories. He left the animal tooth pendant to Lu Li. Naturally, it had left a deep impression on him. Lu Renhuang thought about it and said, I got that animal tooth pendant from the demon-slaying city. Back in the small battlefield, I gained many battle credits and traded them for many rare mystical materials and treasures. This animal tooth pendant is one of them. I spent a lot of battle credits on it because this animal tooth pendant is a legacy of Emperor of Heaven Reverse. Lu Li was shocked. He remembered that when he went to the demon-slaying city, the statue of Emperor of Heaven Reverse lit up. Later, when Deputy Master wanted to kill him, it was because the statue of Emperor of Heaven Reverse lit up again. Xingmu must have received a decree from Emperor of Heaven Reverse. That was why Xingmu helped Lu Li. However, Lu Li remembered that when he was enveloped by the light from the statue of Emperor of Heaven Reverse, the silver dragon bloodline resisted the divine energy. Lu Li wondered what was going on. Lu Li was confused. Somehow, he felt there was a shocking secret hidden in the animal tooth pendant. However, he was not powerful enough to know it. That being said, Lu Li knew very well that it was just a facade. She was still a virgin. She was putting on an act to get back at Jiang Wuwa and the Jiang family. No one is a saint. Who doesn't err? Who didn't do stupid things when they were young? Jiang Qiling had risked her life several times for Lu Li. This time, she even led powerful warriors of the Pavilion of Delicacy to help Lu Ling. She was risking the future of the entire Pavilion of Delicacy. Therefore, even if she wasn't, Lu Li wouldn't mind, let alone the fact that she was still intact. Lu Renhuang didn't say anything. Jiang Qiling was the future chosen warrior, the family patriarch of the Jiang family. She was already at the Earth Immortal Realm. It would be easy for her to reach the semi-god realm in the future. Lu Renhuang nodded in agreement. Of course, all this would have to wait until Lu Xingyang was fully recovered. The three of them chatted for a while. Lu Renhuang asked about what happened to the two over the years. He was filled with emotion and pride. In the following days, Lu Renhuang often stayed with Lu Xingyang, while Lu Li stayed with Bai Qiuxue and Jiang Qiling. Jiang Qiling was easy to deal with, but Bai Qiuxue made Lu Li speechless. Bai Xiaoshuang stuck to Bai Qiuxue all the time, not giving Lu Li any chance to get close to her. If Bai Xiaoshuang was nearby, she would feel it immediately. The twins' telepathy was too strong, which gave Lu Li quite a headache. Would it mean that he could not be intimate with Bai Qiuxue when Bai Xiaoshuang was nearby? Otherwise, when they were having sex, Bai Xiaoshuang would feel it as well. Wouldn't that be killing two birds with one stone? There was another problem. If Bai Xiaoshuang was married and she was having sex with her husband nearby, Lu Li wondered. What if Bai Qiuxue was also telepathic? Would it mean that Lu Li's wife was being violated as well? Lu Li felt disgusted, as if he had swallowed a fly on this thought. He found a chance to talk to Bai Qiuxue about this. He wanted to ask her what to do. What are you thinking about all day? Pervert. After Autumn Snow heard this, she couldn't help but feel embarrassed. Her face, which was as white as jade, felt like it was on fire. She only had sex with Lu Li once, and that was to save him. Even though she had grown from a young girl to a married woman, she was still shy about it. That being said, she had to think about what Lu Li said. The telepathic connection between the twins was so strong. They were so close to each other. Without each other, they would feel they had lost half of their souls. Twins were one, and the saying was not made up for no reason. How about Bai Qiuxue thought about it? She bit her lips and said, Darling, how about you take Shuang as well? What? Lu Li's eyes were wide open. He had always regarded Bai Xiaoshuang as his sister-in-law, and he never thought too much about it. He was not an animal that controlled his lower body. In the past, Madame Yin flirted with him many times, and he managed to control himself. His self-control was strong. It was because he had never thought about it that Bai Qiushui's words stunned him for a long time. But what Bai Qiushue said could solve the problem of the twins' telepathic connection. What was more, Bai Qiushue and Bai Xiaoshuang were the same. They were both stunning beauties. If the twins could serve him in bed together, just the thought of it would make his blood boil. You have it easy, Seeing that Lu Li was tempted, Bai Qiushue glared at him angrily. Then she sighed and said, "When we were born, our mother died in childbirth. Our father was so in love with our mother that he died of illness several years later. We are twins, and we are one. When we were young, we swore that we would marry a special man. Our forefather told us that we were going to marry the human sovereign of the northern desert. Therefore, we have made up our minds to serve the same man. Shuang is simple-minded and likes to fool around. She is a troublemaker. I am worried about her marrying someone else. So you're the bad guy. I only hope that you can treat Shuang well and be tolerant of her." Cough, cough. Luli blushed. He coughed awkwardly and said, "There is no rush, no rush. We need to think about it in the long run. The wedding is not decided yet. We need to talk about it first." Luli never had any feelings for Bai Xiaoshuang. He found it hard to accept that he was going to marry her. What about Jiang Qiling? Jiang Qiling and Bai Qiushue might seem to be close sisters, but they must be fighting for Lu Li's favor secretly. It could be seen from Jiang Qiling's behavior in bed these days. It was every man's dream to have multiple wives. That being said, sometimes it was not a good thing to have too many women. Lu Li was troubled. Bai Qiushue noticed that Lu Li's eyes were flickering and his expressions were changing. She said with hidden bitterness, "I don't think you are happy about it. Never mind. Then I'll find a marriage for Shuang. I think young Master Lu Lin of the Lu family is a good choice. The future master of the Palace of Blue Lions is an outstanding man as well. How about choosing one of them?" "Nonsense." Lu Li flew into a rage. He glared at her and scolded, "Marriage is not a game. You're going to marry anyone you like? Do you think Shuang is a commodity? I am not happy. When did I say that I am not happy? Cough, there is no rush. We need to think about it in the long run. We need to think about it in the long run. P.S. Thank you to WeChat user Mantissa735 for your tips. Give me the recommendation tickets." Chapter 809. Lu Li and Lu Ling had planned to stay at the city of Mystic Armor for half a month and then go back to the deserted world and the inferno. But now, Lu Li was going to marry Bai Qiushue and Jiang Qiling. After resting for half a month, Lu Xingyang was barely able to get off the ground. After all, he was an earthly immortal realm expert, and his foundation was still there. After cultivating for half a month, coupled with the nourishment of various natural elixirs, he had recovered quite well. He walked out of the underground palace for the first time. Looking at the familiar Mystic Armor Mountain, he scanned the Mystic Armor City with his psychic power and sighed. The moment he fell asleep, he thought it would be an eternity, and he would never wake up in this lifetime. He didn't expect that he could see the light of day again. He didn't expect that after so many years, his grandchildren had grown up and their names had shaken the entire divine great land. Their comprehensive force had surpassed the Lu family. A few days ago, Lu Renhuang told Lu Xingyang about what happened, which stunned Lu Xingyang for a long time. Never did he know that Lu Zhangtan was so muddle-headed that he let disciples of the Lu family fight against each other. Lu Swan and Lu Ni were so vicious that they almost killed Lu Li and Lu Ling. Greetings, Patriarch. Many powerful warriors stood on the city wall. All the noble Lord Realm warriors of the Lu family and its affiliated forces were here. They knelt down on the ground. Lu Li and Lu Ling were at the front of the team. They dropped to their knees and bowed to the white-haired Lu Zhengyang, who was supported by Lu Renhuang and Lu Feishue. "Greetings, Grandpa." Good, child." Lu Xingyang was in tears. He walked over with trembling hands and helped Lu Li and Lu Ling up. He looked at Lu Li and Lu Ling for several times and exclaimed again, "Good grandson, good granddaughter. With you here, there is hope for the Lu family. I could die in peace. Grandpa, you're still in the prime of your life. You can't say the word death. Lu Li saw the tears in Lu Xingyang's eyes. For the first time, Lu Li felt the warmth of family in the Lu family. Lu Li said with a smile, "Under your leadership, Grandpa, the Lu family will rise to glory and stand at the peak of the heaven reverse universe." The peak of the heaven reverse universe. Lu Li's last few words not only brightened Lu Xingyang's eyes, but also excited the other warriors behind him. The Lu family had Lu Renhuang, Lu Li, and Lu Ling. In the future, the Lu family would stand at the peak of the heaven reverse universe. Lu Xingyang nodded and walked into the hall with the help of Lu Renhuang and Lu Feishue. This time, not everyone had the right to enter. Only the family patriarchs, and deacons of the affiliated families could enter. As soon as Lu Xingyang entered the hall, he announced the family patriarch's order. Lu Fenghua and the others were to be sent to the Omen Island to be punished by Great-Grandfather 3. As the family patriarch of the Lu family, Lu Xingyang was a decisive man. What was more, Lu Fenghua and the others might have given him false information to go to the voodoo land of the south. Those people wanted to hurt his son and grandchildren. How could he be merciful? Warriors of the Palace of Gods were captured, and many patriarchs of the Lu family were exiled. The Lu family had many affairs to attend to. The Central Plains was in chaos, and the demon-slaying hall was in a state of emergency. Lu Xingyang had been asleep for so many years that he did not know much about the Great Land. Therefore, even though Lu Renhuang and the others asked Lu Xingyang to rest for a while, Lu Xingyang got busy at once. Lu Renhuang did not like to worry about these things. As the family patriarch, he was duty-bound to do his best for the Lu family. Lu Li proposed to marry Jiang Qiling and Bai Qiushue. Naturally, Lu Xingyang supported him. Jiang Qiling was the family patriarch of the Jiang family. To marry a family patriarch will be a great thing for the Lu family. Of course, the Jiang family would not be happy about this. Lu Xingyang needed to communicate with the family patriarch. What about the Jiang family when the family patriarch was married? What about the Pavilion of Delicacy? A few days later, Lu Xingyang was more or less recovered. He was busier and made arrangements for the Lu family. The Palace of Gods sent someone to take over the Lu family. At the same time, super teleportation formations were activated. Many scouts of the Lu family were sent out to investigate the Central Plains. Lu Li had made an enemy of the Six Forces and the demon-slaying hall. That meant he had made an enemy of most of the forces of the Great Land. Lu Li was representing the Lu family now. Lu Renhuang was also involved. The Lu family had become the enemy of the other forces. This was not a trivial matter. It cannot be taken lightly. One careless move, and the Lu family could be doomed eternally. Intelligence was of utmost importance. Lu Xingyang sent someone to contact the Great Buddhist Temple and warmly invited Prajna to visit the Great Buddhist Temple. Lu Xingyang also sent someone to the Pavilion of Delicacy with many gifts, expressing his interest in the marriage. If Jiang Wuo agreed, Lu Li and Lu Renhuang would go to the Jiang family to discuss the matter. Lu Xingyang also sent someone to the Tumulus of Universe to discuss the marriage between Lu Hongyu and Yi Luo. As long as the two were married, the Tumulus of Universe would be united. Lu family, the Pavilion of Delicacy, the Great Buddhist Temple, and the Tumulus of Universe were the four forces. Lu Li could fight against the Deputy Master and Patriarch of Law Enforcement, enjoyed a high status at the Demon-Slaying Hall. The Lu family's position was secure. As for the Demon-Slaying Hall, Lu Xingyang had sent someone to learn about the situation. He asked Patriarch of Law Enforcement and others how to handle the relationship with the Deputy Master. The person sent to the Great Buddhist Temple was straightforward. The abbot of the Great Buddhist Temple said in person that Prajna would bring someone to congratulate Lu Li on his wedding day. The person sent to the Pavilion of Delicacy came back soon. Jiang Wu said nothing. He only asked Lu Renhuang to go to the Island of Delicacy in person, and the details will be discussed later. Lu Li and Lu Renhuang could understand Jiang Wu's thoughts. Jiang Wu was inferior to Lu Renhuang, and the family patriarch title was taken away by Jiang Qiling. He was humiliated. Now that Lu Li was here to propose, how could Jiang Wu not make things difficult for him, even though his daughter was siding with an outsider? Lu Li didn't mind. After all, he was going to marry Jiang Wu's daughter, and he was going to marry by Qiushua together. There was no official wife or co-wife. It was reasonable for Jiang Wu to save face. Lu Renhuang felt guilty for all the sufferings Lu Li had gone through over the years. Naturally, he would not be in a deadlock just because of his pride. The matter was settled. Several days later, when the demon-slaying hall sent back information, Lu Renhuang and Lu Li would teleport to the City of Delicacy. Fortunately, there were super teleportation formations between the 12 royal cities, which was convenient. It would only take them less than half a day to arrive. 3 days later, the person who went to the demon-slaying hall came back and contacted Great-Grandfather 3. Great-Grandfather 3 stated that the situation at the demon-slaying battleground was quite serious. Deputy Master and Patriarch of Law Enforcement had been dispatched. More than half of the powerful warriors at the demon-slaying hall and the reinforcement from other families had been dispatched. They were fighting hard against the 4 alien races at the demon-slaying battleground. For the time being, Deputy Master wouldn't target the Lu family and Lu Li. Lu Zhangtan, Lu Tiandi, and Lu Swan had their souls reconstructed and were sent to the battlefield to fight against the 4 alien races. It was up to fate whether they could survive or not. Lu Li and Lu Renhuang decided at once to take Jiang Qiling to the Jiang family the next day. After the marriage was settled, they would set a date for the wedding. There was another piece of news that delighted Lu Li. Madame Yin and Bai Lung agreed to marry Bai Xiaoshuang to Lu Li. That being said, Bai Xiaoshuang must be the official wife, the same status as Bai Qiushua and Jiang Qiling. Chapter 8:10. Bai Xiaoshuang was in a bad mood. The moonlight was mesmerizing, the scenery was picturesque, and the breeze was gentle. Normally, she would not be able to sit still for even a moment. However, strangely enough, she was sitting in the garden in the backyard, drinking to drown her sorrows. Clearly, she had drunk too much. Her eyes were blurred and her face was red. She stared at the sky in the distance, lost in thought. Bai Qiushua and Madame Yin came to her today, trying to persuade her to marry Lu Li as well. She didn't know what to do after they persuaded her. She had to say yes in a daze. To be married to Lu Li and to be his legal wife. This must be the dream of many young ladies of the Central Plains. Lu Li was young and handsome. His power and influence could compete with the demon-slaying hall. Now, he was the most powerful force apart from the demon-slaying hall. Lu Li was loyal and affectionate. He had done a great favor for the Bai family. Anyone else would be overjoyed, but Bai Xiaoshuang was not. But Bai Xiaoshuang was not happy at all, so she found an excuse to drink alone at night. Men were afraid of entering the wrong profession, and women were afraid of marrying the wrong man. When a man married a wife, he could cast her aside at any time if he didn't like her. But when a woman married a man, she had to be with him for the rest of her life. If he had a change of heart, she would be alone for the rest of her life. Change of heart? On this thought, Bai Xiaoshuang felt bitter. She was even more melancholy. She poured herself a goblet of wine and gulped it down. She felt it was not enough, so she poured herself another goblet. But tears ran down her cheeks silently. Shuang stop. You are drunk. A deep male voice came. Bai Xiaoshuang trembled when she heard the voice. She turned her head away and said coldly, "What are you doing here?" Lu Li looked at the pretty girl in the pavilion. He felt sorry for her. Bai Xiaoshuang was a simple-minded girl. She had always shown her emotions. He had never seen her drink alone and shed tears in silence. He sighed and walked over. He sat in front of Bai Xiaoshuang. She wiped her tears, turned around, and said coldly, "Shouldn't you be with the Jiang family patriarch? What are you doing here?" For the moment, Lu Li could not figure out what Bai Xiaoshuang was thinking. He poured himself a goblet of wine and said, "Shuang, you should know how I have treated you over the years. I will never force you to do anything. If you feel that this marriage makes you unhappy, or if you have other thoughts, you can tell me. I will promise you anything. Lu Li's words made by Xia Shuang tremble again. She could no longer hold back her tears. Staring at Lu Li, she said, "You said that. I don't agree to this marriage. I'd rather die than marry you." All right. Lu Li didn't even think about it. He looked at Bai Xia Shuang with pity and said, "I will agree to anything you want. If you say no, then no." Really? Bai Xia Shuang said, gritting her teeth. Lu Li nodded and said, "You cannot force yourself to be happy. If you have someone else in your heart, how can I take you away?" Lu Li. All of a sudden, Bai Xia Shuang flew into a rage. Pointing at Lu Li's face, she said, "You really are heartless. You have no feelings for me. You only want to marry me because I am pitiful, right?" Lu Li was confused. A woman's heart was like a needle at the bottom of the ocean. He pouted and said, "Why do you say that? Shuang-er, I have always seen you as my sister. How can I feel pity for you?" Of course, the scorn in Bai Xia Shuang's eyes grew. She wiped her tears away and said, "If you do not like me, then what happiness is there in something that you have to force yourself to get? Let's forget about this marriage." Seeing the loneliness on Bai Xia Shuang's face, Lu Li suddenly understood. He knew why Bai Xia Shuang was so sad and why she was drinking by herself. As a matter of fact, Bai Xia Shuang liked Lu Li. Which girl wouldn't be affectionate? Lu Li killed his way from the Heaven Martial Kingdom to the Thousand Island Lake, from the Thousand Island Lake to the Heaven Prison City, from the Northern Desert to the Lu family, and then back to the Northern Desert to become the master of the Northern Desert. Beauties loved heroes. Beauties were a rare resource. Naturally, they would be sought after by many men. Beauties had met many men and their standards have been broadened. The more beautiful a beauty was, the more they would want to marry a hero and become the object of envy. There is no doubt, Lu Li was a hero to many, a legend. The old man of Heaven Prison once told him that Bai Xia Shuang and Bai Xia Shuang would marry the emperor of the Northern Desert. Therefore, Bai Xia Shuang liked Lu Li. But because of what happened to Bai Qiuxue, she never showed it. Her sister was frozen. How could she steal the man she loved? Also, Lu Li's attitude towards her. He had always regarded her as a mischievous girl, as a sister-in-law. He never had feelings for her. Unlike other men, he didn't have strong possessiveness and infatuation in his eyes. Deep down, she was sure that Lu Li did not like her. This time, Bai Qiuxue and Madame Yin were persuading her. She was happy and worried at the same time. To be Lu Li's wife was her long-cherished wish. But if Lu Li didn't love her and she had to marry Lu Li, she would be disappointed. More importantly, Lu Li was going to marry Jiang Qiling. Bai Xia Shuang felt she was an extra, a maid with the dowry. That was why she was so sad and depressed. She was drinking alone. When Lu Li said, "I have always seen you as my sister," she was devastated. She almost had the thought of committing suicide, so that Bai Qiuxue and Lu Li wouldn't be in a difficult position. Having made up his mind, Lu Li put on a serious expression. He stared at Bai Xia Shuang and asked himself whether he liked her or not. Looking at her tear-stained face, Lu Li remembered the first time he met Bai Xia Shuang. They were at the God-Down Island. Bai Xia Shuang came to him like stars surrounding the moon. Back then, there were some conflicts. Needless to say, Bai Xia Shuang was the most beautiful girl Lu Li had ever seen apart from Lu Ling. He must have fallen in love at first sight. But later on, Bai Xia Shuang targeted him several times, which made him angry and disgusted. Later on, Bai Xia Shuang apologized sincerely. She made it clear that she just liked to fool around. She didn't mean to cause any trouble. She didn't really want to kill the people around Lu Li. Only then did Lu Li forgive her and fall in love with her daring personality. If it were not for Bai Qiuxue, maybe Lu Li would have fallen in love with this beautiful, pure, and kind girl. It was just that Bai Qiuxue was too outstanding that she outshone Bai Xia Shuang. But on second thought, Bai Xia Shuang's innocence, straightforwardness, and vivacity were rare characteristics of her. It would be a happy thing if a person could live such a simple and innocent life. The moonlight sprinkled on Bai Xia Shuang's beautiful face adding a layer of radiance to it. She looked even more beautiful at the moment. The tear stains on her face touched the softness in the man's heart. Luli suddenly realized that it was not that he didn't like Bai Xiaoshuang. It was because of Bai Qiuxue that he didn't dare to like her. He was afraid that he would hurt the two elf-like girls, the two favored ones. He was afraid that Bai Xiaoshuang and Bai Qiuxue would suffer inhuman torture and sufferings. His eyes became determined. He said with certainty, "Shuang-er, I know it is shameless to say this, but I still want to tell you. I like you, and I want to marry you. I want to protect you and take care of you for the rest of my life. Not because you are Bai Qiushue's sister, but because you are Bai Xiaoshuang." At this moment, Lu Li suddenly thought it through. Good things must be cherished. He could give Bai Xiaoshuang happiness. Why should he worry so much and let himself and Bai Xiaoshuang suffer for the rest of their lives? If he let go now, he would regret and blame himself for the rest of his life. Bai Xiaoshuang trembled. More tears welled up in her eyes. P.S. Spine strengthening is acting up. I can't lift half of my right hand. Every time I type a word, my shoulder will hurt. I missed a chapter today. I will make it up later. Chapter 811. The pavilion master has ordered that the city is under martial law. No one is allowed to go near the plaza. Anyone who dares to do so will be killed. Citizens of the city, go home. Arrest anyone who is still on the street after an hour. Those who are not citizens of the city, get out of the city or go to the taverns. Those who disobey will be killed. All of a sudden, many powerful warriors and troops swarmed out from the city of Delicacy. Led by human sovereign realm patriarchs, the troops took control of the entire city. The city of Delicacy was under martial law. How many citizens, merchants, and tourists were there in such a city? There was no way to count them. It would be difficult to drive all of them home or out of the city in such a short time. The city was in an uproar. Nobody knew what was going on. Many people wandered around on the street. Some scouts and spies made up all kinds of excuses to stay in the city. However, what they got was a merciless massacre. Jiang Wuwa, the chief of the Pavilion of Delicacy, gave the order in person. Patriarchs led the troops and killed hundreds. No one dared to stay any longer. Citizens went back to their homes. Tourists, merchants, and scouts either went to taverns or left the city. Jiang Qiling became the family patriarch of the Jiang family, but the chief of the Pavilion of Delicacy was still Jiang Wuwa. Jiang Qiling had no management experience. It was not wise for her to be in charge of the Pavilion of Delicacy. Many psychic powers locked onto the plaza in the city. The plaza was surrounded by layers of troops. Not even a mosquito could get in. The streets and alleys in the city were filled with guards. Anyone who dared to do anything would be killed immediately. Buzzing, an hour later, the teleportation formation in the city glowed. The teleportation formation had been glowing for 4 to 6 hours. Many people were startled. They had figured out who the visitors were. Only the super teleportation formations between the royal cities could last for such a long time. As expected, after a while, 9 people appeared in the teleportation formation. Many psychic powers scanned and found out who they were. Many people knew 4 of the 9. One of them was Jiang Qiling, the family patriarch of the Jiang family. The other 3 were not seen, but they had seen their portraits. They were Lu Renhuang, Lu Li, and Patriarch 8 of the Lu family. Greetings, family patriarch. Some Jiang clan elders were waiting in the city plaza. The one leading the group was an old acquaintance of Jiang Yi. Elder Jiang Yi, Jiang Hong, Jiang Hua, and the others were also here. After Jiang Yi bowed to Jiang Qiling, he turned to Lu Renhuang and Lu Li and said, "Greetings, Lord Renhuang, young Master Lu Li, Patriarch 8. Lu Renhuang nodded arrogantly. Lu Li and Patriarch 8 smiled. Lu Li nodded and said, "Greetings, Patriarch Jiang Yi, Patriarch Jiang Hong, greetings everyone." Jiang Yi, Jiang Hong, and the others looked at the handsome young man with mixed feelings. They exclaimed when they saw the 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors standing behind Lu Li. Several months ago, when the four alien races invaded the northern desert, Lu Li had been regarded as a dead man. After Xing Mu told the Jiang family not to help Lu Li, the teleportation formation connected to the northern desert was sealed. Everyone thought that they would never have anything to do with Lu Li again. Little did they expect that Lu Li would come to the City of Delicacy again. This time, more than a dozen patriarchs of the Jiang family had to come out to welcome him. "Uncle Lu Li, I will go back now." Today, he was here to propose a marriage to Jiang Qiling. She was a bit shy. She nodded to Lu Renhuang and entered the island of Delicacy first. Jiang Nijuan, the great patriarch of the Jiang family, came out in person. He cupped his fist to Lu Renhuang and said, "Renhuang, Lu Li, Patriarch 8, let's talk on the island. Master is waiting inside." "Let's go," Lu Renhuang nodded. Even though he didn't show any special expressions, he was displeased. Why was Jiang Wuwa putting on airs when he had come in person? Theoretically speaking, given Lu Renhuang's abilities and Lu Li's status, Jiang Wuwa should have come out in person. Lu Li didn't mind. After all, he was going to marry the Jiang family's daughter, and he was going to take away the Jiang family's treasure. The Jiang family was not allowed to be polite. Not all of the 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors went with Lu Li. 4 of them went to the 4 corners of the city to keep an eye on the city in case of sneak attacks. Lu Li had the Wicked Bead. Even if he was trapped by a semi-god realm warrior's force field, he could use Feather Wind to break it and enter the Wicked Bead in an instant. That being said, on the off chance that the enemies didn't activate the force field but assassinated him directly, Lu Li could be killed instantly. The soul slaves were nervous. If Lu Li died, they would die as well. Surrounded by a group of people, Lu Renhuang and Lu Li entered the island of Delicacy. This time, Jiang Wuwa didn't put on airs. He led a group of people to greet Lu Li at the port of the island of Delicacy. Jiang Wuwa's eyes dimmed when he saw Lu Renhuang from the distance. But when Lu Renhuang was closer, Jiang Wuwa greeted him with a smile, cupped his fists, and said, "Renhuang, it has been more than 20 years since you last came to the island of Delicacy. Back in the days, we fought on the lake of Delicacy and drank to our heart's content. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 years have passed." "Ha ha ha," Lu Renhuang laughed. He looked at Lu Li with mixed feelings and said, "Time flies. The new replaces the old. Wuwa, we are all old." "Yes." Jiang Wuwa nodded in agreement and said with a sigh, "In a few years, our abilities will be surpassed by our children. We old guys must work harder. Please." They went into the hall where a banquet was prepared. Big families valued their reputation the most. Naturally, they would not go wrong with such etiquette. Lu Li had been keeping a low profile. He had been following Lu Renhuang around and didn't talk much. When someone toasted him, he drank politely and some praised him. He was as humble as a shy young man. It was as if he was not a powerful warrior that could fight against the deputy master, but a shy young man who came with his father to propose a marriage. Jiang Wuwa and the old guys of the Jiang family were satisfied that Lu Li was showing them respect. They felt proud. They toasted and toasted in the hall. After a few rounds of toasting, it was time to get down to business. On behalf of the Lu family, Patriarch 8 proposed marriage to the Jiang family and presented a large number of betrothal gifts. Lu Li took out 3 quasi-relics, 2 of which were armors. The Jiang family warriors were dumbfounded. Since when did the Lu family become so rich? Of course, it was Lu Li who provided the quasi-relics. He also offered a large number of mystical materials, all of which were rare and valuable in the Inferno. Rich and imposing, the patriarchs of the Pavilion of Delicacy were overjoyed. Jiang Wuwa thought to himself, but he pretended to be calm. He didn't ask anyone to accept the betrothal gifts. After a pause, he said, "Renhuang, Qiling is my only daughter, and she is the Jiang family patriarch. If she marries into the Lu family, what will happen to the Jiang family? Have you ever thought about this?" Lu Renhuang frowned. He had expected that Jiang Wuwa would make things difficult for him, so he didn't answer in a hurry. Lu Li stood up, cupped his fists, and said, "Uncle Jiang, Qiling and I have talked about this. When we have children, we will choose one of them to have the surname Jiang. The child can be trained by the Jiang family. The patriarchs discussed among themselves. Lu Li's suggestion was not bad. Lu Li was talented, and so was Jiang Qiling. Their child would be talented. With the training of both the Jiang family and the Lu family, the child would become a powerful warrior. But Jiang Wu had other ideas. Even if Lu Li's child had the surname Jiang, the child would still be Lu Li's son. If Lu Li's son became the Jiang family patriarch, wouldn't the Jiang family be annexed by the Lu family? That being said, you're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.